Welcome to Fire Breathing Kittens, an actual play podcast. Every episode is a complete story with a beginning and an end that fits into the overarching macro plot of the whole season. Because they stand sturdily on their own, you can listen to these adventures in any order and can skip any you don't enjoy. Today, we are playing using the combat mechanics from a game called Imperium Magisterium that hasn't been released yet. Thank you for sending us a copy. It was such a unique and interesting design that we had to try it. Imperium Magisterium is a deck-building, tabletop role-playing game. Choose the cards for your character's deck from more than 300 options. This is our first time playing Imperium Magisterium, so we're trying a simplified version of the rules. I say us because today I am joined by Lothario Bushaki.
Well, hello there, everybody. My name is Lothario Bushaki, and I would say I'm your favorite bard, but we got more bards coming down the way, so I don't want to, assume too much. But while I have your attention, I will say I have to comment on my own clothing options. To go with my auburn hair and violet eyes and crisp goatee, I've decided to wear a canary yellow outfit. Now, some of you may think that is ridiculous, but you are wrong, because yellow is in. It's real hot right now. So, I got some sleek pants, some soft leather boots, about mid-calf height. I got a big hat. So, think of your representations, modern representations of the Three Musketeers. That's called a cavalier hat. That's what I'm wearing. Yellow also, with a big, poofy red feather. Now, yellow overcoat and my traditional white puffy shirt. I cannot get rid of this. I love this white puffy shirt. That is what I'm wearing, and I'm ready to play.
Pearl in the Sea.
Hello, everybody. My name is Pearl in the Sea. I am your typical dragonborn of the Amethyst heritage. I just hit a growth spurt lately. I've been trapped in the Astral Sea for a little while, and I had spent most of my 80 years there. But since I've come to Nicomoy, I've actually hit my growth spurt. You see, time stops over there, rather odd. But I am starting to get a little bit taller. My horns are starting to come out. My tail is getting a little bit thicker, and all of my pale lilac scales are starting to darken a bit. I'm really rather excited. I recently came from the Astral Sea again. Not sure how. I got trapped there for a little bit. I joined the fire-breathing kittens and then disappeared again. I found some cats, and that's a whole other story. But I found a backpack there, and it's full of very useful things. So I have that on top of just a sleeveless cardigan. And I have my nice little black teapot and tea set that I got back in Dangan Town strapped alongside it. So I am ready to go as soon as I pull my lyre out of the bag.
Thank you. And Zach Blair.
Oh, hello. Nice to meet you all. My name's Zach. I'm wearing black, gray, and brown leather. Nothing really sticks out about me. I'm happy to be here, I guess.
Today we're playing simplified rules to help first-time Imperium Magisterium players learn their cards. Here are our 4 first-timer rules. Rule 1. You all start with 5 hit points. Go down to 0 hit points, you're going to start to die. Rule 2. Before the game, you each have selected 9 cards to make your own deck from the more than 300 cards available. Your deck is made up of 1 mastery card plus 8 different unique cards of your choice. The mastery card lasts for 1 hour in-game. Rule 3. You can play your cards once per game session. Rule 4. To determine the outcome of something the player wants to do, both the game master and the player will roll a d6. You, player, will win ties. Everyone, do you have any questions about these 4 rules?
No, seems pretty straightforward to me.
Not at the moment, but I am sure I will have questions a little bit later on.
Everything seems pretty self-explanatory. If not, well, we know who to ask.
Yeah, hello. So, I like how customizable this game is for building very different character types. Everyone, please read the names of the 9 cards you've chosen to tell us a little bit about your character class. And the name is at the top. It's the thing above, like, defensive, offensive, etc. It's that word above that at the top of the card.
Well, I'll go ahead and jump right in. So, what I'm going to start with is my mastery card. Now, my mastery card says Alluring Aura. And, I don't know if you've encountered me previously, but I like to think that I give off an alluring aura. People want to be with me. We'll see if that continues by the end of the episode if my fellow players agree. So, as far as my action-type cards that I will be using for this episode, I have Arcanum Field, Arcanum Shield. I got that because it rhymed. And then Childlike, Muddle, Paralyze, Quicken, Regenerate, and Stop.
Thank you. And you can use those on yourself or on someone else. Not your mastery card.
Oh, well, I'll use that on me, I guess, right? That's the only...
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, my cards are... Well, first, my mastery card is the one called Living Battery. With the in-game mechanics, it essentially lowers the cost it takes to play each card. And I'd like to think that I am a source of creative energy to those around me. But also to myself. I inspire myself quite a lot sometimes.
And how we'll translate that is you can play 2 cards in 1 action.
Ooh.
Lowering the cost.
I like that. Perfect. All right. And then some of the other cards I have are Regrowth, Inspiration, Mind Slip, Claws, Mending, Magi Cloak, Arcanum Field, and Arcanum Blast. A bit more of a support build. At least I'd like to think so, with a little bit of oomph in case I need to defend myself.
Wonderful. I like how different your decks are. There's very little overlap. And Zach, tell me about your deck.
So, my mastery card is that of the Mentalist. It gives me an advantage if I choose to do so. Then, for the rest of my deck, or as some guy by the name of, can't remember, calls a deck, you have a Bone Blade, which allows me to infuse my sword with a bleed passive. I can also anticipate my enemy's actions with the Anticipate card. I can also use some of the divine delving training that I underwent to flash back, whatever that can do. I can also utilize an ability of piercing, which allows me to, well, I think piercing is fairly self-explanatory. I can pierce armor. I also can allow myself to quicken, which gives me a little bit of an agility boost for those of you who've ever played any kind of RPGs. I can also utilize the Scry ability. It is an extra roll, so it's very effective. As some would say, it is super effective. I can also then strengthen myself or my teammates, which would give us some extra buffs. And then I also can utilize Arcanium Armor, which will absorb some extra hits until my next turn.
Great. And that explains a bit of what you all do. Zach, you asked that we set this adventure in a time before you joined Fire-Breathing Kittens. One way or another, you and Benoit Forest have found yourselves bounty hunting together. You're currently in the Fomui Dunes, past an oasis, past a music festival, hot on the trail of a person you've been hired to find. What has traveling with Benoit Forest been like?
So, Benoit and I go back quite a long way. I once helped him in the mountain region of Bali. Had a bit of nasty business there, and he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got a job. I understand that you don't take any job, but trust me, this is one that I think you'll enjoy." So I had to listen to what he had to say, and we've been on the trek for quite a bit. It's not very often he gets to leave the city of Bali, so he accompanied me on this trek, and it's been fairly pleasant as of now.
Great. I'm glad you're able to adventure with a friend. So I'll let you know when it's time to join in. For now, we start the adventure with Lothario and Pearl, fire-breathing kittens guild members, who are also in the Fomui Dunes. You completed your quest days ago, but have been walking around, trudging footsteps on unending sand, unsure which way heads home. You're not excessively hungry or thirsty, because, as seasoned adventurers, you packed plenty of provisions. Mostly, you're just bored. How have you, Lothario and Pearl, been passing the time these past few days you've been walking through Fomui Dunes?
Well, Lothario, I thought for sure you had the map. And I know we've been arguing about this for days, but you can't convince me otherwise. It's not in my backpack. I have everything in my backpack, and the map's not in there.
Well, you clearly don't have everything in your backpack, because you don't have the map. Now, to accuse me of thinking that I have the map, I've been accused of a lot lately. But, I'd like to think I'm more careful with maps because I know their value. I was recently in an adventure, X marks a spot that centered around a map. And, when I walked by a map piece, I was castigated quite fiercely. So since then, I take map possession very seriously. So I don't have the map, so I don't think I ever had the map. Now, it could be that there may have been a pickpocket that may have, there are pickpockets here in the desert, right?
We're alone here, Lothario. There's nobody here to steal from us.
Right now we're alone, but doesn't mean that we were alone. So I slept last night. Did you sleep?
Of course I slept.
You see? And were you watching out for the map not being stolen while you were asleep?
All right, I suppose you have a point, but why would someone then steal a map but not everything else of value? I mean, just look at my teacup. And Pearl reaches into her backpack and pulls out this, little black teacup. And she says, and look at this tea kettle. And she pulls out like this black tea kettle and she says, I got this for really cheap over in Dangan Town, but it's obviously very valuable. Why didn't they steal that? Or just my backpack in general, or the clothes off my back, or your instrument, or my instrument? So I don't think that that's what happened. I think you lost it.
Well, no, hold on. Let's attack this point by point. Black tea kettle, black tea cup. In a desert, that's the last thing you want. It's hot tea. Give me a break. Come on. So that's out. Number 2, pack of provisions. Maybe they are a slight individual and cannot carry the pack or the provisions. Number 3, clothes off your back. Maybe we are dealing with a gentleman or lady that would never dare to disrobe somebody in their most vulnerable position. And plus, when you're asleep, trying to take somebody, not that I know, but taking off somebody's jacket when they're asleep is difficult. And then, what was that last part? Instruments. I don't think people understand. If you take an instrument, it may not be worth very much, but if you play it, yeah, okay. But if you have no musical ability, that's just extra weight you gotta carry for nothing.
Well, I'm just going to say, if somebody did steal our map, I don't understand why they didn't steal your hat too, because it's rather fabulous.
Well, you got me there, so I don't think it was a thief after all.
So you lost it.
It is a fabulous hat. Okay,
you
I
admit.
lost the map. That must be... Your logic is impenetrable.
It's infallible, truly.
Well, I'm sorry for losing the map, and I'm sorry for trying to deflect from my accountability.
It's all right, Lothario. I actually lost the map.
What? Oh, my goodness. You got me.
What a twist.
I appreciate your forthrightness, though, and I'll forgive you. It's been a delight to get to know you as we've been lost in the desert.
Yes, that is a bit of my fault, but I'm glad I've gotten to know you a bit better too. I'm sorry for leading you on. Not really, but kind of.
I know how bards do. Don't worry about it.
In the distance, you spot a clustering of canvas and pole tents.
That's not another mirage, is it? The last time we ran towards tents, it turned into a bunch of prickly pears.
Well, hold on. Now, what I learned with the prickly pear incident is that mirages look different to you and to me. So, let's verify what we see. At the same time, you will say what you see, and I will say what I see, and then we'll see if what we see is what we're seeing and is real. Right?
Yes. Let's do it.
Okay. On the count of 3, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Tents
with poles.
Yes.
Oh,
hey.
did yours have poles? Hold on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think
they could
just
be
in
legs.
case. That could be. Let's just to be safe. Let's approach it cautiously.
Yes.
Not, haphazardly like we did before when we thought we saw that pond of water.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still getting sand out of certain places.
Yeah, we said we wouldn't talk about that.
You are approaching a camping area, a rest spot with many portable dwellings. There is a large wooden sign with hanging flyers. Past the tents and large wooden sign with flyers, off in the distance, is a concert venue, a huge building possibly magically constructed in this desert.
Are you seeing these things, Lothario? Tents and signs and a music venue?
I am very excited to see the music venue because it's been a while since people have been able to enjoy the melodious tones of my musical ability. And I have yet to hear your musical ability, so this may be the perfect opportunity for us to grace the stage if they are so willing.
Oh, I think they'll be willing. I think we're going to impress if there are auditions. What? Maybe if they're already done with auditions, we can just kind of sneak in with another group. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
Well, let's just see who's running this joint, and then we'll talk to them. And then maybe, if they say no, we will use our creativity as adventurers to find our way up there anyway.
You're a genius, Lothario.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Are there any of these signs or flyers that say, like, management or information desk or something like that?
Or maybe a restroom?
Oh, yes. Maybe that's the first stop.
You walk over to the wooden sign and read the flyers?
Yes.
Indeed.
Okay. One big colorful flyer proclaims, Hangout Music Festival, with today's and this whole week's dates on it. It's been going for a few days. You've got that one, right? Yeah? Okay.
Yes,
All right.
got that one.
A small paper has scribbled on it, Last minute Hangout Music Festival tickets available. Find Chico. Let me know when you've got that written down.
I've got it.
Can you repeat that, please?
Last minute Hangout Music Festival tickets available. Find Chico. Okay, they're giving me thumbs up. Excellent. Okay, another flyer says, jarred water and beverages for sale. Talk to Alana.
Okay, I've got that.
I got it.
As you're standing there, a man with long red hair and a face tattoo steps past you, dismissing your very presence as if you weren't even there, and tacks a flyer to the board of a woman's face like a wanted poster that says, 10,000 gold bounty. The name over the face says, Riley Chafad. Bring to Noah Godavarthi for reward.
Who is the subject of the wanted poster again?
Riley Chafad.
And it is, we need to bring her to Noah Godavarthi.
Godavarthi.
Just out of curiosity, what does the face tattoo look like on the person hanging up the flyer?
The face or the face tattoo?
The tattoo specifically.
That tattoo is on her... Oh, of who? Of the person hanging up the flyer?
Is it... Yes, they have a tattoo, or is it the person in the poster?
Both.
Both? Oh, okay. Let's get the person hanging first, and then the one in the wanted poster.
The person hanging the flyer has a tattoo on his cheek near his eye. It's like a circle, with a comma coming off of it at the 1 o'clock position, the fatter part of the comma further from the circle.
Lothario will raise his eyebrows in alarm.
I think Pearl would clock that.
Hey, that tattoo is significant. Pearl, I'll tell you about it when that guy moves away.
Pearl just checks to make sure that Lothario wasn't heard by the person next to us. Okay, great.
He seems dismissive of you.
Hearing what Lothario had to say, Pearl is going to face the person and just say, "Oh, well, hello. We happen to be some adventurers with some experience. Can you tell us a little bit more about this bounty that you just put up?"
He looks you up and down and squints.
You don't exactly look like bounty hunters. You two look like you'd be more comfortable with a lute in your hand.
I mean, why not both?
Yeah, two things can be true at the same time. It's not exclusive or.
So we are rather capable musicians and adventurers. We're just asking for a little bit more information. That's all. Why is this person wanted?
Dismissively, he says to you.
Oh, they're my friend.
It is at this point that Zach and Benoit Forrest arrive at the scene. Noah takes one look at Zach and Benoit and visibly relaxes.
Ah, good. You must be the specialists I called for. I got here as quickly as I could, but she's already gone. By the time I got here, she wasn't in her tent. That one.
He says, pointing to one.
So, Benoit, what can you explain to me again why it is we're here? You just told me you had a job.
Weren't you the bounty hunters, experienced law enforcement personnel that I hired from that town, in the mountains to the west?
Yes. I was on. So, to be perfectly honest with you, sir, Benoit here just reached out to me and told me he had a job. So, didn't specify much about it, just told me, hey, he's got a job for me.
Benoit, I guess I'm role-playing as Benoit, but you can role-play as Benoit, but Benoit knows about this job. You were hired for it.
I got you. I wasn't sure about that.
Yeah. Well, you have heard of this job. You'll get paid when you complete the job.
Okay.
Yeah. Bounty hunting style.
Gotcha.
No money until you do it.
By any chance, does Zach take notice of the tattoo that you were previously mentioned?
Yes. You have all of the information that the other players have.
Okay.
Your character at this point is not at all disadvantaged for lack of information. You
Okay.
Because it's not like the flyer is only visible to some people and not others, or like this guy's face is
All
like
right.
magically shielded from you. It's like, you got it all.
Zachary is going to turn and take a look at Lothario because his hat is very out of place. And he's going to take a note at it and ask, wait, what are you guys doing here? You're a little far away from the city.
We go where we are needed. And it seems as if the universe has told us that we are needed right here and right now. So, I would say we're here for twofold reason. Number one, Pearl and I here, this is my associate Pearl, peer, I guess you would say. And she is a musician, as am I. And then there's a musical venue with a festival occurring right now. So we would like to be a part of that. Number two, there's a bounty here. We are adventurers. And as adventurers do, we're gonna go adventure.
Seems like an interesting plan. By any chance, are you guys needing any extra assistance? I know that traveling in more than just a pair is always more beneficial.
Well, I certainly wouldn't say no to that. It seems like you and your friend are rather skilled, if this man here is much less dismissive of you as they were of us.
You can say that I have a very specific set of skills, but those are 0007 classified until we need to know.
I don't know what that means, but I did want to add that my hat is not out of place because it is keeping the sun out of my face and also accentuating my style. So, again, twofold. We do a lot of twofold reasoning around here.
No. I completely understand you, sir. I, by any chance, didn't catch your name.
Oh, I'm so sorry. My name is Lothario Bushaki. My fans call me Boo, though. And this here's Pearl.
Oh,
Yes, I am.
wait.
I'm Pearl in the Sea. We're from the Fire-Breathing Kittens Guild in Nicomoy. I'm sure you've heard of us.
I actually have. I was in a village about, I want to say, a few miles northeast of Nicomoy. There was a young boy that wanted to join your guild. I can't recall his name. Want to say he was from Shelton. Did he by any chance ever find you guys?
Oh, Alexander.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yes, I met him in Dangan Town. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I actually didn't expect you to know who the Fire-Breathing Kittens were, but now I'm so pleased.
I mean, anybody who's traveled around the world of Gasso is bound to have heard about the fire-breathing kittens. And by the way, you said your last name was Bushaki, correct?
Oh, yeah. Bushaki.
You guys own that silver mine. By any chance you ever take down that scamp Rendakara?
Chico Rendakara?
Yes.
You bet I did. It was a very high-stakes card game, which is not my usual go-to, but my friends back me up. Not to, spoiler alert for those who have not listened to a ship, a trip, and one... Wait, what ship? Wait, the one episode with the ship and the one-way trip.
And a one-way trip.
That's the one. Thank you, GM. So, yeah, we got him. In fact, there is a flyer here that I'm supposed to look for a Chico if I want tickets, and my antenna, well, I don't know if that exists in this universe. My red flags went up on my head, and I don't know if that's the same Chico, but I'm about to find out because I don't trust that man at all.
I don't blame you. I'm happy somebody finally got their hands on that piece of trash.
Yeah. That man's just like a communist utopia, you know? Completely classless.
Yes, sir. Oh,
I was like, where are you going with this? That was amazing.
Also, I should introduce myself. The name's Zachary Blair. It's a pleasure to meet the both of you.
It is.
Pleasure to meet you.
And this right here is an old friend of mine by the name of Benoit. He just stands and waves hello, really not trying to draw too much attention to himself, as he is one of the higher leads of the city guard in Bali. He is quite a ways away from home.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet both of you. I think we're getting along famously. I'm rather excited for our little team up here.
It's always easier, and as I recall, Zach looks over to the person that was putting up the flyer. The reward is 10,000, correct?
Yes.
Well, that divides out by 4 very easily, doesn't it?
Yeah, it divides up by 2 pretty good, but I think we'll probably actually accomplish the mission if all 4 of us are working together.
Yeah. You see, with that music festival going on, it might actually help us to have some people who are musically inclined. Me, myself, I never was able to pick up an instrument in my youth, so I have no skills with those types of devices.
It's not hard. I mean, I'll give you a lesson after this is all done if you like. I mean, I barely knew how to play, and now look at me.
A man with class and skills. By the way, Pearl, my apologies for not acknowledging you. Why is a dragonborn all the way here at the moment? Aren't you guys not the biggest fans of these type of climates?
Well, I go where the work takes me. You'll find that I'm rather adaptable, and I'm actually rather excited to explore all of these new climes. I'm rather new to the world of Guaso.
That's perfectly understandable. By any chance, directing to the GM, is there anything that Zachary is going to notice that's different as compared to what the other 2 have noticed?
I write mystery stories. If you ask questions, I'll answer them.
Okay. So does he, by any chance, notice anything different with the person that was hanging up the poster that wasn't already specified?
Red hair, male.
Okay.
Tattoo on cheek.
Okay. Is there, by any chance, would I have any kind of knowledge of that tattoo?
Oh, before you answer that, GM, has that individual walked away?
No.
Okay, then I will refrain from answering.
Okay.
Zach, roll a d6. I'm going to roll a d6.
Ooh.
Okay. What did you get?
Oh, no, we're both going to say it at the same time.
Okay.
3,
I got
2,
you.
1,
6.
3. You have a history with this tattoo. You know that it is the tattoo of the Deep Ooze Guild. The last you heard, maybe like 10 years ago, they were a guild around Nicomoy, kind of small, just a few members back then.
Okay. So Zach is gonna look over towards the gentleman and then glance over to Lothario as a way to kind of silently acknowledge that Lothario was holding his tongue. Give him like a slight nod, like nod up.
Oh, I cast my eyes at Pearl, who so she can co-acknowledge.
Okay.
It's like, hey, huh? And then I look back at Zach and I kind of like rub my eye where the tattoo would be, but pretending like I got sand in my eye, cause you know it's the desert.
Yeah. We forgot her sand goggles. Not very fashionable on the streets of Jashope, if I have to be honest.
No, of course not. No, absolutely not. But it is helpful to be prepared. I did myself bring a bottle of eye drops, but I ran out very quickly.
Oh, I think I might actually have some in my knapsack if you need any. I can toss some over to you.
I'll catch you in a second.
I
mean,
got
I'm
you.
good for now, but thank you.
At this point, sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so at this point, Pearl will turn to the man and say, well, it's very clear that we've all teamed up with your very fancy bounty hunters.
The bounty hunter, Benoit Forrest, takes out a piece of beef jerky that he'd been making on the trail. And it's a little hard to properly dry beef jerky on the go. So he's snacking on it. It's a little juicy and squelching.
We're obviously teamed up with them now. Can you give us more information?
I could definitely info dump on you guys, but I want you to direct the...
I got you. Okay, so I will instead ask, you said that she ran from her tent. Could you direct us to where she had been staying?
Yeah, it was that one.
And he points, and you do know the tent.
Okay.
Hey, I'm sorry to be so rude, a gentleman with a fine red hair. What is your name?
Noah Godavarthi.
Nom,
Okay,
nom,
so
nom,
just like-
goes Benoit Forrest.
So like the name right here on the poster, this is you?
Yeah. If you find her, bring her to me. I'll be in that tent.
He says, pointing to a different one.
And why specifically do you want us to find her? Just context for the job. If you're not comfortable sharing, that's perfectly adequate.
I'll pay the first person who can get it done.
All right, fair enough.
I will say, this makes me a little uncomfortable, but I've encountered bounties before, and your poster does not specify dead or alive. Do you have a preference?
No. I mean, my friend, I would.
Yeah, I was going to say this is your friend.
Do an insight check. So that's basically roll a d6. I'll roll a d6. Your cards can be used to add. Your cards have stuff on them. I'm just reminding you guys. So I'm not suggesting that you use it for this insight check, but I'm just saying in general, cards are how you make yourself guaranteed win rolls.
I see.
But you don't. You don't need it for this. I'm just saying.
Okay, I went ahead and rolled anyway. And I just tell you what I got?
Yeah.
I got a 5.
Yeah, you beat my 4. You can tell that he does not actually care about this person like a friend. And if he does, he's not the friend you want.
Okay, I'm going to play it cool, though. Like, I understand that, but I'm not going to let him know I understand that. It's like, I understand how it means. Losing a friend, that's tragic. We will do our best to reunite friends with the people that they should be with.
All right.
And then I elbowed Pearl. I said, Pearl, we should go to that tent. And hey, Zach, why don't you and your friend come with us down to this tent?
What does the woman on the poster look like?
She has the face of a koala and the same tattoo as Noah.
So Zachary is going to look up towards Riley and ask, is there any specific reason why she would have actually gone missing? Do you think it might have been something to do with dehydration or anything just to do with being in the desert?
Just to recall a sentence that he said before. When you arrived, he said,
Ah, good. You must be the specialists I called for.
Okay.
I got here as quickly as I could, but she was already gone. By the time I got here, she wasn't in her tent. That tent.
and he pointed to one.
Okay. So...
What can I tell you about Riley? She's a real pain in the behind. Says she's committed, but then the next thing you know, she's gone. Fickle like the wind. I was told she was here, and so am I, but I haven't seen her around.
Oh.
Does she have a crippling eucalyptus habit?
Can't say I've ever seen her eat eucalyptus.
That's part of the
Interesting.
world.
So you didn't come here with her. She came, you were locating her, and she was supposedly here.
Exactly.
Where were you before this?
I'm going to ask you to roll a d6. And what I say depends on our rolls.
Okay. 3.
Nikamoy.
You know that's incorrect?
Okay. So you were somewhere else. Where did you meet Riley?
We know each other from way back. She's an old friend. I'm so worried about her. I mean, that's why I'm willing to pay 10,000 gold. You can't just give up on your friends.
Oh, of course not. Of course not. Especially one who says they're committed and then flakes. You can't give
Right?
up on someone like that.
Exactly. How dare they leave? I mean, what?
What exactly were they leaving? Was this a group, a meetup?
You know what? If you bring her back, I'll give you 10,000 gold.
Good job getting the insight. You understand the situation.
Okay.
Yay.
Excellent.
I do want to find out also, while we're in the neighborhood, which Chico is offering these tickets, because I smell a scam.
I smell a snake.
So perhaps we can go and check out the tent first and see where that leads us from there. I imagine since we're at the entrance, we'll find other things along the way. I'd also love to go and see Alana. I met her back in Dangantown. I think it's the same Alana. Now that I think of it, Alana is a very common name, or so I've been told. Anyway, let's go to the tent.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds like a plan. And Benoit is still munching on that very poorly dried jerky. It's very chewy.
Benoit is like gurgle, gurgle, gurgle.
Yeah.
Benoit's Forest's stomach makes some audible sounds.
Zach's
I'm
gonna
going to
look.
stand in
Oh, my bad.
upwind of... Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt you, Lothario, but Zach's gonna turn back over to Benoit and be like, "You sure you were fine leaving the comfort of your office? Like, that doesn't sound normal."
He makes a very interesting face, and he's like, "I'm gonna go to that. I see a porta potty. I'll be back. Don't wait up for me."
No, yeah, you go do that. You're getting too old for this, man. He's like 45. And he's got a family. Like, why?
45 ain't old. I just
Wow.
No, it's
Point
not.
that out.
But this man's seen some things.
I am 90 years old, Zach. Please, let's not disparage our elders.
Oh,
And
oh
like,
no, I'm
Pearl-
not disparaging
Pearl,
elders
like-
at all.
Yeah, Pearl definitely looks like they're a teenager.
Oh, no, I completely understand that, Pearl. I met an elven archer up north that's over 200, one of the most beautiful women I've ever met. Though, kind of awkward, but I'm going to change the subject.
Well, before we move on, is she single?
Lothario, this is not the time.
All right.
Who
Man, it's
is
never
this
the time.
she
I don't
you're
understand.
referencing, Mr. Bushaki?
I'm sorry?
Who is this she you're referencing?
You mentioned a beautiful elven archer that is 200 years old.
It's complicated.
Come
My
on,
favorite.
boys. We have a mission, and Pearl
Yes.
just
Okay.
starts walking.
Yeah, Zachary's gonna follow Pearl, shrug, and mention to you guys that he's gonna try to check over by the tent to see any footsteps our footprints there in the sand while we're waiting for Lothario to approach?
This being a concert tent field, there are hundreds of footsteps in the ground around it. The collapsed tent's fabric drapes loosely over irregular, lumpy shapes. The fabric flaps in the desert wind, hinting at glimpses of what's underneath.
So, about that, Pearl, unless we try to follow some footsteps, we may accidentally follow the wrong person. So we're going to have to call a nix onto that. By any chance, are we out of earshot of Mr. Noah?
Yep.
So I'm going to stand back up, get off my knee, and turn and face Pearl, because I want to say Lothario's still walking over.
He's probably there now, too.
Yeah, that tattoo is bad news. I don't know if you guys know, but they're bad news.
At this moment, Lothario shows up and says, "Hey, y'all, now that we're out of earshot, I just want you to know that tattoo that man had is bad news."
Are we sharing a brain cell?
I could swear there's an echo in here.
Yeah. Wait, but Lothario, by any chance, how do you guys know about the Ooze?
Okay, so, either me or Rufus, I don't know who's at fault, to be honest. One of us keeps triggering some event, and we keep finding people with this tattoo, and they on the run somehow. So I suspect that our Miss Riley may also be on the run.
Yeah.
And right when we're about to save them, get them to safety, some body of water, a puddle or a drip, drip, drip puddle in a cave, comes out and takes out our new friend. And so I'm a little cautious in extending the hand of friendship to someone I don't know, knowing that they will be taken from me at any moment. I'm a little gun-shy, but we should do our best to keep Riley in this desert, which I suppose has very little water, because then they did reveal that the Deep Ooze is a guild that comes after their former members with a vengeance.
So, by any chance, this is going to be a question for both Pearl and Lothario. Have you guys not bothered to ever consider asking one of the mages that are in the guild about that?
So this is Pearl's first time hearing about this. Yeah, so this is all new information for them, and they're just kind of stewing on it.
All right.
That is a good idea, and now that you mention it, next time I go back to the guild hall, I will mention it to a mage. And, by the way, would you like to join the Fire-Breathing Kittens? Because it's that kind of thinking that helps teams get ahead.
You know, I've been asked by many people to join guilds before, and I've always told them this. Don't take any offense to this. I'm nobody. I'm nothing. You'll only know me today, and by tomorrow you'll forget me. You know, if I do decide to join, I know exactly where to find you guys.
You know what? I like you, but I don't appreciate the attitude you got about yourself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mentor you so that you have a better, self-image, you know? You are somebody. You matter. And to be so down on yourself, that's tragedy number one. But that just ripples. It has ripple effects, and your impact on others can be negative. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying that we should hang out, and you should, get to know you as well as us.
You're talking like you know me. You have no idea.
Oh, that's what we all say, dear. And Pearl starts to go through the tent and see what they can find.
Yep.
Piled and messy under the tent, you find wrapper after wrapper of Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips. The wind picks up, blowing away wrappers and rustling sheet music pages. You find another Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips. Alas, it has been consumed. You find a saxophone case that is empty. You find another crinkled Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips.
Zach is going to walk into the remains of the tent and ask, what is that abominable smell? And he's going to kneel down and see the wrapper, and he's like, oh, God, no wonder they ran away. They hate these disgusting things. Not the biggest fan of sour cream and onion chips, if I'm being honest.
I would encourage you to be honest. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Not the biggest fan.
Why would there be so many wrappers, though?
That's a good question.
Wait. Sorry. But you said it smells bad in here, right? From the sour cream and onion smell. Maybe they're trying to hide something.
Maybe. Could we potentially do an insight check, GM? Or perception?
Sure.
Some sort of D6 roll. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and roll. Okay, I've got mine. I'll wait for you to give us a countdown on the number. Okay. Gotcha.
3, 2, 1, 4.
5.
Okay. So you find a saxophone case that is empty, too.
I would like to peruse that saxophone case as a purveyor of fine instruments.
It is a case. It has an interior shaped like the negative image of a saxophone.
Are we talking alto saxophone or perhaps baritone? What kind of koala? What? I'm trying to think of where this koala lady would fit in an orchestra.
Are either of those smaller?
Alto would be much smaller. Baritone is much bigger.
It is an alto saxophone.
Ooh, okay. This is a very small saxophone.
Can you check the lining to see if there are any hidden compartments or perhaps a part that lifts up? Maybe something written could be hidden in there.
Ooh, I am good at understanding hidden compartments in cases, because when you're at the pawn shop, they're all over the place, those cases with the hidden compartments. I mean, I don't know what you put in there, but they're there. So I'm going to go ahead and check. Do I need to roll for that, GM?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one moment. I got a 2.
I got a 1. You find an intact, unopened bag of Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips.
Oh, save that. Don't open it.
Yeah.
Actually,
Why would I eat chips in the desert? That seems like a terrible idea. I saw these rappers like, I don't know what they're thinking. They must be very thirsty.
You're right. It's the middle of the desert, the Fomui Dunes. And yet there is a massive sea of tents surrounding a fenced-off concert venue. There is a fence in a circle around the concert area with a prominent main gate.
people need food and water to survive.
Yes.
We did see a flyer for jarred water and beverages sold by Alana. If this person were to run away, they would need to at least stock up on water. Although why they would leave behind their favorite chips, I'm not entirely sure. But let's bring it anyway. If they're still hiding around here, perhaps we can draw them out with it. But I would say we don't have to do this yet. But I would say our next steps would be going to the water tent and seeing if the purveyor there has noticed Riley approach.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense because these chips are really high in sodium. Salt isn't the best thing to have an abundance in because it can cause you to dehydrate yourself.
Oh, you would think that. However, it does help you retain water, and in certain environments such as this, that could be helpful. So, we'll see. Just don't want to overdo it. I agree with you, fundamentally.
And also, you wanted to check out about this Chico individual to see if it is that snake, Chico Rendacara.
Yeah, on the sly. We don't need to be direct, necessarily, but I do want to find out who this is.
No, I agree with you. Huh. Is there anything else we would have missed in here? We've got the chips that we found in the saxophone box. We've got the plethora of wrappers. The scent is... What's up, Pearl?
Where's the saxophone?
Why
would she run? Yeah, why would she run away and not take and not leave her saxophone?
I don't think she's in a Gnomes at Work cover band, so...
If she was also going to take the saxophone, I imagine she would take the case.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get sand all up in your saxophone.
But as musicians yourselves, especially a whirlwind instrument like a saxophone could be quite valuable. Perhaps somebody took it? That is a
Could be.
possibility.
Well, I'll tell you what. GM, how many rappers would you estimate would be around this tent?
I'm gonna roll a dice. 3.
Okay, I'm going to pick up all 3, and along with the unopened bag, put them in my pack. Because number one, I like beautiful things and ordered things, and trash just scattered about. It doesn't do it for me. So I'm going to tidy up a little bit. And as I tidy, like, I don't know if you ever lost something of yours, like a key, and then you tidy up, and then you find the key. I'm just going to tidy up the tent and see what comes about.
You find sheet music.
I'm going to take a look at the sheet music. Would I by any chance recognize the song on there?
Nope. You're not a bard.
Hey, Pearl, why don't you take a look at this?
Yeah, and I'll hand it
Sure.
over to Lothario, who hands it over to Pearl.
All right. Do I recognize this song?
Yes, you could play it.
Ooh,
If you play the saxophone.
Oh,
I do not.
Oh, it's that saxophone-specific sheet music. Dang.
Or
dang it.
something else with a similar range.
The lyre is a little bit limited, but maybe I can try and drum something up. Haha. So, GM, is this something I can make up, or is there a tune you've got in your head for this?
You can make it up.
Okay. Oh, I know. It's going to be like a slow jazz kind of thing. So it doesn't really like translate very well into lyre because you don't get like those really nice held notes. But it's going to sound something like ding, 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 ding. It's a little wobbly, but it's like, okay, maybe if there's a band playing something like that during the concert, we can go and find them, and maybe they would know where she is if they're, well, I don't know. This isn't a super popular song, but it's worth noting if anybody actually gave her the sheet music or something. Just another hint, and Pearl's going to put the sheet music in her backpack.
it's actually not a
Worth
bad
noting.
idea. I was actually going to suggest the same thing because with the festival going on, I was going to suggest we ask one of the musicians there. Essentially was going to do the same thing that Pearl did.
Perfect. I see that we are on the same brainwave. See, Zach, you're pretty smart, and that's nothing to sneeze at. I think I'm smart, too. If we came up with the same idea, then you're definitely worth having in the guild.
Hey, Pearl, before we move on, I do want to say I loved that rendition that you just gave. And I doubt I'm going to hear it better than what you just did, but I will keep an ear open for that sequence of notes.
Oh, thank you, Lothario. From one artist to another, that means so much to me.
Hey, don't even mention it. That's fine.
So, did we want to go to the water tent first, or find some other lead? I'm open to other things. I just think the water tent and the music venue itself is probably the best leads at the moment.
I say we could stop by the beverage tent first, and if we notice anything along the way, we can double back. I feel like that's going to be our best course of action, because if I'm being honest, I could use a drink myself at the moment.
I am rather parched as well.
We should probably check in on Benoit, too. It's been a while.
Oh, he's
my
fine,
goodness.
trust me.
Lothario, I completely forgot to see if there was a map on the flyer board. Ugh.
Oh, maybe there's a lost and found somewhere, and we can find our map and get home after all this.
You think our map flew all the way here from the other side of the dunes? You sure are
If so-
optimistic.
Well, if somebody found it, yeah. And people walk, they find stuff. In a desert, there's nothing, and you see a map, that's something, and so you're going to pick it up.
I guess that's fair. Okay, GM, we're going to go head to the water tent.
Oh, yeah, you're walking? Mm-hmm. Where to?
Yep. Over to the water tent. The one that has jarred water and other beverages by Alana.
Right. So, like, what tent is that?
Oh, no. I knew we should have picked up a map. Okay.
Well, we're gonna go back to the flyer post board, and we're gonna find and see if there are more details surrounding the location of said tent. I know there were arrows, so we'll just follow the arrow.
Yeah, we can check on Benoit while we're heading that way too.
Oh, Benoit's going to be out for the whole adventure, you'd say.
Yeah. So when we're
trust
passing
bad
the
jerky.
porta potty, all we hear is just noises.
Yep.
Oh, no.
And that flyer said, jarred water and beverages for sale, talk to Alana. That's all it says.
Goodness.
Well, I will find a passerby that looks friendly. That's most everybody at a festival, I imagine. And I'll say, pardon me, can you direct me? Oh, especially if they're having a drink. Like if they have a drink in their hand, boom. That's what I'm looking for. And preferably if they're an attractive lady. That's who I would like to talk to. So I'll say, excuse me, because I'm polite. And I'll say, can you direct me to Alana's water and beverage tent?
To what?
Oh, yes, hello. My name's Lothario. To who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
She doesn't know you, so she lies and says a fake name. I'm Canary. What are you looking
Canary.
for?
That's like my outfit. We were meant to meet each other today.
That's what she got the inspiration from.
I will say, we are looking for... My friends here are parched. They could use some water. Do you know where we could find the water and beverage tent?
Oh, yeah. Inside the main gate, turn left. There's a water and beverage. It's like built into the hallway, you know? Concession stand.
So when you say past the main gate, is that where the tickets come in? Do you need tickets to get through that gate?
Yeah, everyone here bought their tickets long ago.
On a side note, do you know a person by the name of Chico offering tickets? Like, let's say I lost my ticket, or if there's a lost and found.
Oh, that sounds really sketchy. And then she's like looking you nervously. And she's like, I wish I could help you.
No, that's okay,
I mean, like, it's not
baby.
like you just stumbled upon this festival in the desert randomly, right? Like, you had to plan to come here.
Well, as it turns out, we are featured performers, Pearl and I. See, this is my colleague, Pearl. Pearl, you want to say something here to maybe diffuse the situation? I seem to get us into messes.
I think the only way to diffuse this is for you to walk away, Lothario. And
Noted.
Pearl just turns to Canary and is just like, I'm so sorry.
She's like, it's okay.
Well, yes, I hope you have a splendid time at the festival, and please keep an eye out for at least me. Lothario perhaps can be missed, but I hope you have a wonderful time here.
You too. Bye.
Well,
can't
that
be
went
missed.
swimmingly.
When you wear all yellow like me, it's hard to miss me. I'm just saying.
Perfectly dressed
I
for a
mean, we
concert.
are in the middle of a desert, shades of tan
Yes.
and brown. As far as the eye can see, a bright canary yellow is bound to stick out.
And it keeps me cool. It's not like I'm wearing, I mean, darker colors in a desert. That's a no-no.
Oh,
Yes, and that's rather true. But if we are currently outside the gate and everyone bought their tickets, I think we will either have to sneak in, which potentially we could do, or we could find this Chico person and see how much they're going to scam us out of gold for a couple of tickets.
That's judging if it is Rendikara. Here, I know this might not be the style, but we can meet back up here. I want to try to see if I can't find a back entrance in the gate that we can sneak through, potentially.
So you're separating yourself from the party?
Oh, no. No.
If they agree with that. I'm
Yes,
asking
Zach,
them.
I actually do think that's a good idea. Perhaps there is a performer's gate, one that people who are set to perform at the venue can go through separately, and then we can pass ourselves off as planned performers.
Because I mean, you guys look like you guys could be performers. I look like I could be a bodyguard of sorts. And
Or
I
general
can
manager.
Or pot. It's actually a good shout. And if we find anything, we can meet back up.
Well, I think it would be safer if we all just go together. That way, if we do find something, there's less time wasted.
That is fair. But I also feel like having multiple eyes in multiple directions is more beneficial than all eyes in one.
I agree with you, Zach, theoretically. But until we can master some form of communication where we can talk over remote distances, that's not as helpful, because as soon as we see something, we need to find the other person. And then that just draws attention unduly to ourselves. But if we're together, we can communicate immediately, and we can back each other up if one of us gets in trouble. Now,
That's
I know
fair.
you don't have the FBK manual, but that's on page 2.
Yes, it's almost one of the first things. The first thing is we don't do arson, but it almost happens anyway.
We're working
You know,
on
the
it. So
only
far, our streak
rule
is
from
good.
the fire-breathing kittens I know was always go left. I learned that from some
Legendary.
guy.
Oh, yes, that's also on page 1. Oh no, was
Yeah,
that 94? I can't remember.
I don't remember,
Same thing.
but I know that's accurate.
All right, so
Well, then.
We can always go left around the main gate and see what we find.
I mean, if that is what it says in the manual, and that's what the old man told me in just show up, well, let's go left.
You're becoming a kitten already, Zach. I love it.
You make your way to the fence that surrounds the concert venue. You're passing the main gates. You can see that over there in the distance, there are 15 three-person deep lines to booths where people seem to be exchanging tickets for wristbands. And as you walk along the fence to the left, you see someone leaning up against it with their hands picking notes on a sweet, double-necked electric guitar. The leading person is a 29-year-old human man, 6'1", with black hair, light skin, and hazel eyes like that guy from the show White Collar. He looks towards you with a suave grin permanently set on his handsome face, but upon recognizing you, Lothario, blanches.
Well, well, well. If it ain't Chico Rendacara. Now, what brings you here today? You trying to swindle somebody else?
Swindle? No, I would never do that.
Never.
Hey, you need some tickets?
Maybe.
Lothario, for you. Hey, they're on the house. Are we square?
And he hands you 3 tickets to the concert inside. But out of game, I'm telling you, the player, that you must agree that you are square with Chico Rendacara if you accept these tickets. Do you forgive him?
Oh,
I tell you what. I do like to find, I'll say this out of character, I do like to see the best in everybody. And it pains me that Chico has gone astray so wildly. And I would like him to be on the up and up. So I want to cut him a break, but he just keeps getting in his own way. So I'm struggling. Here's what I will propose. Now I'm talking to Chico. I said, Chico, I care about you. I know this sounds weird, but you're hurting yourself more than anybody. I mean, yes, you hurt several people because of your con artist ways, but you also hurt yourself. You're cheating yourself of learning a skill that people can be helped by. Now, here's what I will propose to you. You will give us the tickets, and I will declare a truce. Now, we're kind of square, but it's kind of like a probationary period. Now, if I start hearing that you're acting the fool again, then it's off. So, the ball is completely in your court. What do you say to that?
I want you to roll a d6. And I would like to remind you that you have abilities.
Aha. I'm gonna... Hold on. Yes. I don't know if I want to activate this so early.
Do it. That's part of the game. Do it.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to use my alluring aura. That's my mastery. And what that says is it's a -1 cross swords and shield for opponents, 0 to 1 arrow target. So I will let the GM interpret that accordingly.
I have your cards here. I'm going to find that one. So what's the name of it?
alluring aura.
-1 sword and -1 shield for opponents. 0 to 1. Is that the target symbol?
That is correct.
Okay. So that's why we're playing the light version of Imperium Magisterium, because there are 3 symbols on this card that I need to interpret in order to know what the card does. A suggestion for the creator of the game is you can have the symbol, but you might want the text also. Like, symbols are cool. Also add text. Both, because I do not know how to interpret crossed swords. It seems kind of like it's the attack skill, and the shield kind of seems like it's the defense skill for opponents 0 to 1 target. So 0 to 1 target. I mean, Chico's 1 target. So it means I'm going to interpret it this way. That he gets -1 attack and defense. Right? Seem fair?
I believe so. He's overwhelmed by my charm. That's what I'm trying to do.
Great. All right, so when I roll this dice, I'm going to subtract 1 from my roll, and you go ahead and roll your roll, and we're going to say our numbers 3, 2, 1. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1, 1.
I got a 6.
You make a very convincing argument. Chico looks at you, and I'm going to share some information about Chico. He's had a rough time recently. He had a meat selling operation that did not work out. He was on a ship for a while, and that did not work out. So he's been really failing at his schemes recently. He almost went to jail with the meat selling operation, too. This is the right time for him to have heard that advice. He's hitting rock bottom. I mean, he's here in the desert trying to sell tickets to a concert that everybody literally wouldn't come to the desert if they... Like, who stumbles upon this concert needing tickets?
I know. That sounds unusual at best.
So it's just great timing, and you're very persuasive, and he goes...
But how? I don't know what to do with myself. I don't... How could I work? I have no value.
Oh, no. Okay. That's where you're wrong. This is my man Zach was trying to say earlier, that he's nothing. And I'm tired of people saying that they don't have value when they do. You have inherent value. Just because you're starting from the beginning doesn't mean that you're not worth nothing. You just gotta start slow and manage expectations, It's like when you see a child taking its first step, you don't reprimand it for not getting it right. They're learning, just like you. So why don't you tag along and see what you can do to help?
Tag along? You want me to join your party?
Sure, why not? You got another ticket for you?
He has so many tickets. No one has needed to buy tickets.
Well, come on then. I mean, is that cool with you, Pearl? You, Zach? I don't mean to...
That's fine with
Remove
me.
the
I have no
democracy
issues
from this.
with it. And if he
Okay.
acts up, we can keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I mean, Chico, you're turning over a new leaf. And I'm gonna have to work on the emotional processing of when I hear your name, just my body reacting in such an overpoweringly negative way. But I'll get there. But see, we're both learning something together.
He had tried or started to do a complex handshake with you, but upon hearing that his very name causes you to cringe, he backed off.
We'll get there. No. See, we'll get to the handshake, but that many episodes from now, I'm sure.
In due time.
But I'll do a simple handshake, like a regular person handshake.
Wow.
Just
Da 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 da! You
That's
have
gross.
acquired tickets, and you have a new party member that doesn't have food poisoning.
from poorly dried jerky. I told him he should have stayed in Bali. He didn't need to come with me, but he insisted. I wanted to travel the world, wanted to see what it was like for me.
He's seeing
That's a
something.
good friend.
A porta potty.
Well,
It's much nicer than the ones they have in Bali, trust me.
Yeah, how else would you have seen this porta potty in the Famu Dunes?
I never seen no desert porta potty. That's more than I've seen. Not from the inside, I mean.
No, they're not very clean on the inside either, Lothario. Somebody of your standing wouldn't be happy in one of those.
I'll roll with a lot. I've seen a lot. It's cool.
You know a thing or two because you've seen a thing or two, is that right?
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
Okay, so we've got tickets. We've got Chico, apparently. Let's get to the gate. Let's enter this
Yes.
place.
So while we're walking, I want to discuss something with the party as kind of like we're talking. With Chico, we have an ability we have someone that can help us negotiate, I want to say.
No, Chico's not there mechanically.
Okay, so he's just following. Okay. Thanks for clarifying that. That's why I wanted to make sure of this.
No, good call. Good call.
That's too bad because he is good.
No, yeah,
But he's also trying not to be a con man now, though, right?
No,
but he's just
anything that can be
technically
used
being
for
a
bad
con
can
man
be
if
used
he's
for good.
helping us.
Yes.
He don't have to con people. He could just convince people in a legitimate way. Like he uses power for good. That's all.
Here's how
Yeah,
I see
speech 100.
Chico in your party. If you guys get too injured, he'll die. That's how I see Chico in your party.
Oh, no.
man.
Oh, it's an escort
He's like
mission.
a pet.
Oh, boy. He's a pet.
I will say he is also a source of information because he's been here a while. So maybe he has seen Riley.
Oh, I know. Every time any of you take damage, Chico will also take 1 damage. How's that? Perfect.
Oh,
I love
no.
it. Let's go.
You're too...
I don't love that. We'll see what
Okay.
happens, though.
Fine.
No, I got cards for that. Don't worry.
We can handle
Yeah.
it. Fine.
We
Throw
got
whatever
this.
you
We're very
want,
capable
GM.
fighters.
Steaks. And not the ones your friend ate.
No.
The sound hits you long before you can see the performers. Oh, you exchanged your tickets. You got wristbands. The sound hits you long before you can see the performers. Thousands of people are surging towards the music, all flowing in the same direction. You find yourself swept along, getting closer and closer, the music louder and louder. You are standing elbow to elbow with other-ish, person-ish shaped humanoids, the crowd packed in pretty densely, everyone facing the brightly lit stage where far in the distance it looks like a stick figure is moving around in time to the words you hear being projected at max volume.
I'm going to get a headache after this.
This your first time at a concert, Pearl?
Yes, actually, it is. Anything bigger than a tavern of music being performed? Yes, this is my first time. I'm very excited, but I also don't like it.
I would like to pull out of the inside of my jacket pocket a notepad. And I'm going to make a note how loud it is. And I'm going to have to find out how they are amplifying their sound because this is new information for me. I, like Pearl, am used to a smaller venue where the only volume amplification comes from me either pressing that diaphragm more or, strumming that instrument a little bit harder.
Okay.
Making notes.
Yeah, now that we're in the gate, is there a map of this entire area?
Yes.
So that, okay.
Anywhere you could go at a concert, you can go here.
Well, let's find the concession stand.
Okay, perfect.
So you guys are currently in the crowd and you're heading towards the buildings, hallways for concession stands built in. Okay, so you're moving, you're walking along. As you're walking along, the stick figure up on stage steps out onto a platform. The platform begins to levitate. Before it can get very far off the ground, a crazed fan jumps and leaps. Their fingers are holding on to the edge of the platform as it rises higher and higher above the crowd. The singer doesn't seem to have noticed the fan dangling from the platform behind them and continues to dance and sing. The floating platform is now dangerously high. So we're going to the concession stand?
Well, no, not now, because I see that, and I'll rush over to where the platform would be, but like below it.
Absolutely. I'm following Lothario. This is person in danger. This is important.
And I'm going to follow them with a shrug, being like, I guess we're doing this.
So as we get closer, I would like to use my Arcanum field card. So this is classified as defensive, and it absorbs up to 3 broken heart, which I think is damage. So it absorbs up to 3 damage until your next turn, then discard the card. And it says any. It doesn't specify if it has to be myself or someone else. So I would like to use it, I would like to encase the person on the platform in the Arcanum field once I see them falling, because they're going to fall.
Okay, they're currently not yet falling. They're encased in a bubble. And indeed, it's physical harm caused by blunt, such as falling from a distance. I'm going to move this Arcanum field over to your expended pile.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. You all have a reaction. So right now, there's a bubble of force reducing damage by 3. Do Lothario and Zach have a reaction as well?
Zach is looking at the stage in attempts to find perhaps an emergency release switch on the levitation to see if he could find somewhere where that would be from where he's standing.
Is there an ability that you're using?
None of my abilities would grant me that kind of power from what I can tell.
Okay, I should say that you're a few hundred feet away. They're tiny and in the distance.
Okay.
Didn't one of you, maybe both of you, have the Quicken card?
I do have a Quicken card, but what would we try to accelerate?
I guess it's fair. Like, I would imagine yourself to get to the stage faster. Because, like, as much as the Arcanum field is going to defend them from some blunt damage, I think there would be more. I personally have the Mending card. So if I could get there fast, then I could go and heal them. But I don't have anything that would boost my speed. So, like, I would... And I'm, like, relatively short still. Yeah. So...
In listening to your explanation, I know what I'm going to do. So, I have a stop card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prepare it so that when that person falls down, I'm going to use my stop ability to decelerate and potentially stop their fall so that they kind of come and touch down very gently upon the ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it even says decelerate.
And in tandem with that, I'll use Quicken to dash in and catch them before they make impact.
Perfect. Okay. I hope this works. I feel like this should work.
And in the meantime, I will be shuffling through the crowd normally to make ground.
Okay, so Quicken means that you get +1 to your movement. So when we roll for dice to see if you make it there or not, because all things are challenged by opposing d6s, Zach, you get +1 to your movement is your dice. So you'll roll a d6 and add 1. For the total damage, I will reduce it by 3, which means this will be non-fatal, whatever happens here. Good job, Pearl. And for the stop, I noticed that it says +1, and then there's like a wheelchair handicapped symbol. I looked up what that means, and that's a +1 thumbs down to all actions. I've interpreted the thumbs up and thumbs down to mean that it decreases my dice, your opponent's dice, by 1. So I'll be rolling for...
For gravity?
I'm just going to let your thing apply, and I'll add that to Zach's dice to make it more likely that this works. So this is a non-lethal situation because of Pearl, and let's see if you catch him or not. Zach, ready to roll? I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Yep.
3,
4.
2, 1. 1.
4.
You run so fast. You were stepping on people's heads to get there. And you catch this person, and the force field means that you don't take damage and they don't take damage. Nobody dies because they're decelerated and force field protected. If you guys hadn't been there, this would have been one of those concerts that somebody died at.
Oh, no.
Best kind of concerts. That's pretty metal.
That almost always happens in the tavern, too. But it's a lot easier to deal with.
Oh, yeah. I want to say those tavern incidents are a little bit more, we'll say, piercing or slashing damage instead of blunt.
Well, normally I would assume that security should be better here, seeing as how they have the fence and everything, but I don't know. Are they okay, Zach? Are they doing all right?
Zach is actually going to take a look at the individual to see if it's our person of interest before
They're not a
saying
koala.
anything. Okay, and then he's going to ask, "You okay?"
They have fallen unconscious from the damage that would have certainly killed them without you there.
And Zach is a big guy. If he's moving fairly quickly, him running in to catch somebody at that speed's going to knock the breath out of him regardless.
Yes.
I just want to know if the people I stepped on are okay, because Zach is 6'6" at 240.
Everybody's fine.
Okay.
To the fire-breathing kittens.
He's this massive guy with a leather trench coat just flying over people's heads.
You must be so sweaty, too, so you're just like sweating on everybody as you're
Oh
running.
my god. I don't like this image
cooling
anymore.
insoles on him.
Oh, that's cool, yeah.
He knows people.
And that was quite the save by the fire-breathing kittens. Good job, you guys. It's great that you were here. Joining us for part 1 were Pearl,
Oh, I'm so glad we got here in time.
Zach,
Well, that was a routine fly ball to left center field.
and Lothario.
Man, teamwork makes the dream work. Great job, everybody.
And I believe we have a review.
Oh, we do. So, this is a review from Dungeon Momster, not monster with an N, but momster like your mom. Dungeon Momster. 5 stars. Lighthearted and fun. Super cute real play D&D. New players learn the ins and outs of the game while the DM sets up rewarding guild quests for the PCs to tackle. I like it, with an exclamation point at the end. So, if you have a review and you like us reading your review, you should post a review. Go to Apple iTunes and review us. I will say, I prefer reading the 5-star reviews. You can review whatever you want, but clearly, the story that we are presenting to you today is a 5-star story. So, let that be reflected in your review, and we'll read it on the air.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
We hope that you're enjoying this episode of Fire Breathing Kittens. This episode's shout out is from Tori Aces, who says, quote, Pebble 2, Time 2, plus all new Pebble Core, 2 affordable heart rate enabled smartwatches, and a hackable 3G wearable for phone, free running, with GPS, music, and Amazon Alexa. End quote. If you would like us to read your shout out on air, we can do so. Go to firebreathingkittenspodcast.com and click on the part that says buy me a coffee and we can read your shout out on air. If you'd like to read something of ours, we have books for you. Ebooks, paperbacks, hardcover novels. They're available on amazon.com. We also have audiobooks on Audible. And we have official merchandise. One of my favorites, I love it, is the mini skirt that has super, super tiny Fire Breathing Kittens logo all over it. But anyway, if you zoom in real close, it's our logo, but it's also a mini skirt. Okay, yeah. Lastly, we don't pay to advertise our show, so the only way we can grow is if you tell someone about us. Is there an episode that would make that person smile? Tell them about it. Thank you. And order the mini skirt with the like tiny repeated textile pattern of, what do you call it? Yeah. It's like plaid, but it's just the Fire Breathing Kittens logo over and over. Anyway, bye. Welcome back to Fire Breathing Kittens. We're joined again by Lothario.
Well, it's good to be back, and I'm glad that unfortunate fan is now safe.
Pearl.
Getting to use some of our good old skills. I love it.
And Zach.
Well, after that amazing catch, I wonder if they're all right.
They do seem like they will live, and the medical staff takes them away, so they're off your hands. Let's all roll a d6 to see who tells us what happened last time. I've got my d6 here.
Got mine.
I got a 6.
Oh, I also got a 6.
I've got a 2.
Okay, you're all equidistant from 4, so let's roll again. I got a dice here.
Oh, I rolled 6 again.
I got a 3.
I've got a 4.
Okay, the dice was a 1.
Ooh, that's me.
All right, go ahead and tell us what happened last time.
Okay, so there we are. Me and Pearl walking through the desert, lost, effectively. Well, we argue over who did not lose a map, but we resolved that in a friendly fashion. But as it turns out, we stumbled across, just coincidence of coincidences, a series of tents outside what happens to be a musical venue. 2 bards in the desert. Musical venue. Amazing. Anyway, we get there. And that is where we find out there's also a bounty on a koala by the name of Riley. I'll just say Riley. Riley Jafad. Riley. We're going to go by Riley because we're friends practically. First name basis. Anyway. That is where we meet Zach. Now, he is not officially a fire-breathing kitten, but just wait till the end of this explanation of what happens in the first part. And he's pretty much there. Like, he's heroic. So we talk, and we're like, hey, are we going to find this koala together? And we're like, yeah, of course, we can split up this 10,000 gold reward. And the person who puts up the flyer, he is suspicious. I mean, like, you know, I don't trust him. Turns out he's got a tattoo. If you've listened to previous episodes, where there is a tattoo right below the eye that looks like a Q, but with a teardrop in it, this guy has it, and so does Riley on the poster. We find out that he wants to find her and pretends she's a friend, but then doesn't care if he wants her dead or alive, so I don't trust him either. Anyway, we decide to look for clues. We find all the clues from the board. Then we go to the tent, and we try to look for clues there. Nothing but trash in an empty saxophone case and a full bag of sour cream and onion Hestia Bestia chips, which in the desert seems ridiculous. Saxophone gone, saxophone case empty. We leave the tent. We go to where we think the water is, but that is inside the venue, and we don't have tickets. Luckily, there is a scalper. Unfortunately, it is Chico Rendacara. You know how my feelings are about him. But when we try to look for an artist entrance, we come across him, and lo and behold, we come to some peace, a temporary resolution. It's wonderful. He actually joins us, gives us tickets, and we all enter. And as we go, we are overwhelmed by the musical performance that's happening. And it's amazing. A little loud, but, you know, it's okay. Music's good. We start walking toward the concession stand when a platform starts levitating with a performer on it. It's beautiful and amazing. However, there is an overzealous fan who grabs the edge of the platform. The performer is unaware of this. Everybody is screaming. He thinks for him, but it's not for him, it's for this fan. So, as the heroes we are, we jump in, save the day, keep them from dying. I think that's a win. They're unconscious, but they'll wake up. And now, you are caught up.
And a mechanical reminder to everybody, every time anyone gets hurt, Chico gets hurt.
Wait, I thought it was just us three, not
Yeah,
anyone.
no.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Sorry.
Oh, man.
I was worried,
Anyone.
like someone
can't move the
literally fell
goalpost like that.
unconscious.
So anyone could have met anyone in the party.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, great.
Yes.
You're on your way to the concession stand. They sell a lot
So-
of food and drinks here. Shaved ice, pita with hummus, a date and nut platter, jerkied meat, bottled water, Hestia's Bestia's plain Juca chips, Hestia's Bestia's barbecue.
I notice there's no Hestia Bestia sour cream and onion. Don't
Yes,
you
I
find that
did.
odd?
Yes, I
That is
did
a-
notice that too.
It's quite suspicious. Quite suspicious. Sorry, I'm still after a loop after running over all those people.
Oh, yes.
Well,
Quite a
Perhaps-
rush.
Perhaps getting some potato chips will help regain some of that energy.
Yes, possibly.
Excuse me, talking to the concession person. How much for a bag of chips?
They're a high schooler, and you do notice that all the signs above the stands show how much each one costs. It is 1 copper. No, wait, this is a concert. It is 5 gold.
Oh my
Per
god.
item.
Yeah, we in a concert.
Even in Gasok, the concession prices are jacked up exorbitantly.
On second thought, Zach, I think I have some rations in my backpack. We can just give you those.
Pearl, it's fine. It's just 5 gold.
Just
Wait, is that a lot for you?
no.
She's an artist. Of course it is.
No, I
Lothario,
understand.
no.
I'm an artist too, don't worry. No, there's no shame
Here,
in that.
if you guys want something,
We
I
bring
can
value
share.
to the world.
Yeah, you guys are helping me out, and I'm helping you guys out. What do you want? Anything? I don't mind.
I mean, I kind of want some Hestia Bestia sour cream and onion potato chips, but they don't seem to have any.
Yeah.
Should
And I'm
ask
going
it.
to, I'm
We
going to
could
ask
ask.
the high schooler and be like, hey, do you happen to have any sour cream and onion chips in the back?
No, sorry, we don't sell those.
What? Wait, what? You don't sell those?
No?
They're rancid.
Does anybody here in the concert venue sell those?
I don't know.
But if they don't sell those, then did Riley bring all of those potato chips with her?
Sounds
Well, maybe-
possible. Is there by any chance that we're gonna know this person behind the stand, or are they just some random high schooler?
How many high schoolers do you know, Zach?
I mean, I would know one from that I haven't. No, probably not.
Well, I play a lot of under 18 clubs because they're thirsty for entertainment because they don't really make a lot of money because they can't sell booze. You see what I'm saying? So I know a few. Would I know this person? Is this Alana?
No, it's not Alana. And actually, you do know Alana. Think through your history.
Hold on. Uh-oh.
And
I
as
know
you ponder that,
I think I do
Yes.
know Alana.
yes, fellow GM, you do know Alana. So as you think about that, where are you guys heading?
I think we should still stay the course and go to Alana's beverage stand and see if
Yeah.
Riley got there.
You check
Yeah.
all the stands. None of them are labeled Alana's beverages.
Oh my goodness, this woman. Well, why would there be an advertisement for it if it's not here and it's not outside the concert venue?
Why don't you guys list places that you can go in a concert?
We could go to the restrooms. Wait in line all night. I mean,
I know there's
We
usually
could-
a storytelling circle around a fire, usually in a festival. I don't know with this being an indoor establishment if that's within limits. And there's also usually a beanbag circle.
Yeah.
Or, where we're not tossing it, but kicking it around.
hacky sack.
Hacky sack, yeah. Well, I don't know if that's copyrighted, so I just call it a
No.
beanbag.
I
This
gotcha.
is where everyone finds out Pearl's player has not gone to many concerts.
Ooh, have you gone to any sports games?
No. I've gone
Have
to a
you-
couple like baseball games maybe, but
Okay, I'll list
it.
the places. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
So
thank
you
you.
can go. You can go now.
Merchandise
whether or not
stand.
what?
It's right.
Merchandise stand.
Okay, so fair. Forgot about that. So whether or not you can go to these places is up to you, but these are the places that exist.
Okay.
On the stage, behind the stage, in the bathroom, in the mosh pit, in the seating area. So those are your options. I was kind of hoping you'd think of that organically, but I will list the locations. I'm trying to move past
Sorry.
that as a GM. No. I feel like my games are like, here's locations.
True, yeah. I think maybe part of it is like I'm in
No,
that
no, no,
mood.
no.
Okay.
It's
I
fine.
I'll get
was gonna
beyond it.
mention the pit too.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a mosh pit.
Yeah.
So this is less of a fire, gather around kumbaya, and more of a mosh pit sort of place.
That's not really my
Very
style,
metal.
but I respect it.
I guess people can
Right.
tell what concerts
Yeah.
I've been to. If someone tried to kick a hacky sack, you'd kick someone in the shins.
Yeah.
Okay,
Some would
so
say they got caught in a mosh.
I think I mean I really wanted to say hi to Alana. So
Yeah.
You
I don't know. Maybe she's moshing somewhere. I don't know.
So, Pearl, I feel like, I want to check backstage to see if we can figure out anything with the control panel and see if that was a fault or if that was intentional.
I think that's
It was
a good
an accident
idea.
or if there was any intent behind it.
Right, and we could also check backstage to see if people have seen Riley. I mean, if they had a saxophone,
Yeah.
then they must have been a performer of some sort, so perhaps we can ask around while we're there.
And you also have that sheet music. We could ask about if there are any
Yes.
saxophone players, if they know anything about that.
Absolutely.
So, you have any input on this, Lothario?
I'm cool. I'm actually determining whether I should show this empty bag of chips to the person at the concession stand, but I don't think that's gonna buy us anything, so I'll follow your lead.
I mean, it's worth at least asking.
Okay,
Like, she's a high school student. They have nothing but time on their hands.
I have an idea. I'm gonna go ahead and take this
no.
out. Now, before I continue, I need to ask GM a question. When you say high schooler, there's a range. 13 on the low end and 18-ish on the high end. What?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I as a 20-year-old will
there's some
adjust my...
things I don't know. I got real intense knowledge on some subjects, and this is not one of them.
It's okay. It's okay. I just need to know how... I'll just use a casual baby instead of like a, hey, baby. You know what I mean?
No.
No, this is my personality quirk. It's fine.
That's
All of
one of
them
his. That's
are-
one of his special quirks.
Yeah.
He can't help it.
Just,
All of them are below the age of consent and adulthood.
well, see, I'm respectful of that. So I'm just saying, hey, baby. Like, hey, it's no big deal. So here we go. So I'm going to go up to stand with an empty bag in my hand. I'm going to say, hey, baby, I was wondering if you do free refills, because I got this bag of chips I would like to get refills on. And I'll show her the bag, and I would like to see if I get a refill of said chips.
Okay. And she takes the chips and she puts the plain ones in. There you go, sir.
I think there must be a misunderstanding. I apologize, madam. See, now I'm switching the gears right here, madam. As you can plainly see, according to the wrapper, I got sour cream and onion. And I don't believe the chips you've provided to me are sour cream and onion, and that's going to throw off everything. Is it possible for you to get sour cream and onion? And I don't mean this in a rude way, or there's no commentary on your performance as a cashier, but do you have a manager with whom I may speak?
I'll ask Karen. And Karen comes out.
Question, GM. Is there by any chance any paper, any notice signs for the staff hanging up on the wall that I can see in relation to Hestia's sour cream and onion chips? Any kind of notice in regards to that?
No. It says
Okay.
wash your hands.
Okay, just normal kitchen stuff. I got you.
That's an important sign. I mean, we should.
No, yeah.
Wash our
yes,
hands.
You should always.
That's what the sign says.
Well, hello, Karen. I overheard your name by this young lady. I'm trying to get a free refill of sour cream and onion chips because I was under the impression that when you sold these to me, I would get a free refill. She clearly put plain chips in my bag. Nothing against plain chips, but that's not my style. Can you direct me to some sour cream and onion chips?
Sir, do you have a receipt?
I'm certain I do. Give me one moment. And I turned to my colleagues. It's like, did you see a receipt around here? Or, GM, did I pick up a receipt when I was cleaning up all the trash?
No. And if you did, it wouldn't be to this place because they don't sell sour cream and onion potato chips.
I'm hammering this too hard then. You say, it turns out I do not. I can understand why you might think I'm trying to defraud you in some way, and I will not abide that. So, I'll just be very upfront with you. I have no receipt.
She does that come closer finger gesture.
Yes, ma'am?
There's a very long line behind you. Why don't you take your full bag of potato chips and be on your way?
Very well. I did not mean to cause you any burden, and I appreciate the kindness which you are bestowing upon me and my party. Thank you. I will rate you highly the next time I'm to rate concert venue concessions areas.
Next.
Okay, I dutifully move out of the way.
Yeah, we follow suit. I'm going to turn over to Lothario and say, dude, you would have had an easier job of picking up girls in a dungeon than getting a refund on that.
Oh, I got free chips. I mean, I think it's a win. So, but I
it wrong
found
to
out.
pick up
It's a
girls in
win.
a
It's a
dungeon?
win. But still,
But they
Is
also,
it wrong to pick up girls in a dungeon?
if they fall down, it's like when you're at the skating
I
rink.
caught the reference.
Explore it next time in our next episode.
It's a good anime. No, wait, it's an anime.
Yeah, it's very good.
So, I'm pretty convinced they don't sell this brand. So something is afoot with this brand
Yeah.
or this variety. So maybe there's a special shipment and they're sneaking something in the bag or something. Do we want to open our existing bag of sour cream and onion chips?
I don't think so because
I mean,
if Riley is so intent on eating only Hestia Bestia's sour cream and onion chips, we have one unopened bag. What if they're on the
Yeah.
brink of death? That opening that bag in front of them could revivify them. So I say we hold on to it
Okay.
unopened.
All right. I hope they're not tainted somehow, and that's what caused her to.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Who knows? Let's follow the clues.
So, Pearl, my counter argument would be we can open it and we could reseal it if we have to. We could just take like one or two out, take a look, give them a good whiff, and see if they smell like unlike a proper sour cream and onion chip.
Do any of you have a looper type ability? Because we could go back in
Time
time.
loop?
Could time loop this?
So I technically I have the flashback ability, which is supposedly which allows you to return a card from your cooldown pile back into your hand. Could I potentially use that as kind of like a Control Z, like undo?
Let me just clarify. You want to use your time loop ability to open and examine these potato chips and then
I'm not.
never
I'm not
opened
asking
them.
if I can use it. I'm asking if I could.
Yes,
That's
you
exactly
can.
what I'm asking.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put potato chips in quotes. It's what it says on the bag, but there's something
know,
something fishy here. And maybe I'm hitting this clue too hard.
I think we're just overthinking the potato chip.
That's my specialty, baby.
You know, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna reach over. You still have the bag that you got from the counter, right, Lothario?
Yes.
I'm gonna take a potato chip and eat it, and say, yeah, Pearl's probably right.
That convinces me. Both of you speak very clearly, and nothing I appreciate more than clarity except for beauty. So, how about we go with our original plan where Pearl and I pretend to be musicians. We go backstage and find some more clues.
Yes,
I
I think
actually-
that's
yes.
sensible.
Yeah, and I can portray your bodyguard / manager, I guess.
Oh, no, you're a hero. You were the one that caught that fan. So you already have respect.
I'm no one.
That's
Yeah,
what you
let's see
say.
what respect gets me.
Everybody will disagree with you. Not that it's a democracy and it's everybody against you, but just be encouraged that you have value.
Oh, yes, very much.
All right.
So,
To
we're heading backstage.
backstage. Ah, jinx.
Yes.
There's a guard.
I will. Oh, go ahead.
Actually,
Wait.
Pearl would like to take this opportunity to use their card Mind Slip. So, as it's stated, it is an offensive / inception card. Look at target's hand and choose one card to place in their cooldown pile. But GM, what
Yeah,
is
you can
that
just use
translated to?
Yeah. I like the title of these cards. Mm-hmm. I love that idea. And Mind Slip seems like forgetfulness, right?
Yes, it literally has like an exclamation point and a question mark next to someone like rubbing their head. So I imagined it as your mind is getting infiltrated and you're getting befuddled.
Yeah, that's an auto pass. That's exactly what that's perfect for.
Yes.
This person just forgets to look to the left as you walk past.
And we're in.
Nice.
Pearl, that was smooth.
That was slick.
Thank you. It's a move I've been practicing for a little bit.
I may have to hit you up about something later, but we'll talk about that after the fact.
I would kind of like more the opposite, though. Enough people ignore me. I would like them to actually turn my way and pay attention. But we'll get to that later.
You know, I don't think you have to worry about that, Lothario. Zach says as he glances back at the canary yellow clothing.
Well, I hold my lapels and shimmy a bit and say, well, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You're in a wide stone hallway whose stepped ceiling is the underside of rows of seating above. This is an indoor concert venue. It's a bit cooler here in this hallway than it was outside under the desert sun. A dwarf whose black hair has a streak of blue in it, wearing a brilliant blue and teal cloak, strolls purposefully past you, a lanyard around her neck. In an alcove a few dozen feet down the hallway on the left, 3 people sit at illusion panels, waving their hands to move around small colored illusions. The lights of the concert move in time.
I would like to interrupt the lanyard-wearing person that is walking with purpose and say, excuse me, have you seen a koala around?
Sorry, I'm busy. Maybe someone else can help you. The dwarf wearing the brilliant blue and teal cloak runs back the way she came down the hallway, sprinting up to the 3 people at the illusion panels. She says something to them, but it's so loud here with the music that you can't hear it. All you can glean is a wide-eyed look of panic on the 3 panel workers' faces. One of them stops waving the illusions around and begins to stand up, but the dwarf hand gestures at them and they sit back down. All 3 people shake their heads. She turns away from them looking defeated and starts to walk past you, eyes on the ground, thinking.
Can I, from where I'm standing, make out any kind of legible writing on the dwarf's badge?
Yes.
On the lanyard? What does that read?
Britta Talbot.
Pearl just elbows Lothario and says, well, go and cheer her up, perhaps. Find out what's going on.
I think you're right. I noticed that myself. Thank you, Pearl. And following Pearl's sagely advice, I will turn to Britta and say, hey, baby, you're looking down. Is there anything me and my friends can do to help you? Pearl and I are qualified musicians, and my man Zach here just saved a fan. I don't know if you saw that, but he is a hero. So, we're here to save the day, if you need that.
And I'd like to ask, is your alluring present still up? Has it been an hour since you saw Chico?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's been an hour.
Perfect.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
It's not still up.
Oh, boo.
So she's muttering to herself. She kind of almost doesn't hear you, and she says, after he let me talk him into it, it's gone.
Let who talk you into what? I'm going to ask.
He normally plays a Spanish guitar, but I talked him into learning how to play a double-necked electric guitar just for Hangout, after finally talking him into it, and him learning to play it and writing songs for it, and after all that, for it to be gone? The dwarf woman with black hair and a blue stripe through her hair looks like she's about to cry. The guitar's gone!
I think we may be able to help you. We saw a gentleman with a double-neck guitar just a moment ago.
He is standing with you.
Yes, he's right here.
Yeah. We all gaze at Chico, I guess.
Chico,
right?
now is your moment to start the path of redemption. Do I need to pretend to be Chico?
Yeah, / he has been outed. So why don't you, Pearl's player, roleplay as Chico?
Okay.
I don't want to. So pass it off on the players.
I'll take it. So what was it that you said, Lothario? Like,
I said, now's your time to start your path to redemption. Indicating that not necessarily that he took the guitar, but that he could start doing the right thing by maybe, returning said things.
And to see how she reacts, you and I, Lothario's player, are going to roll a d6. Are you using any abilities?
No, not offhand. I was not considering that.
Okay, let's see your d6.
I got a 1.
I got a 5.
Okay.
Pearl's
that's
player?
not-
Didn't go well.
okay.
What do you do?
So Chico just kind of like gives a side eye to Lothario and shuffles forward and says, I'm definitely not the one who took this, but I found this, and it seems like what you're looking for, so here. And he just kind of tosses it at her. Doesn't even hand it to her, just throws it.
Meanwhile, Zach has got his hands in his pockets, kind of balled up into a fist, like glaring at Chico. Just silently, menacingly just glaring at him.
The guitar, Britta says. Thank you for finding it. Oh my goodness. I've got to get you a reward. Come with me to my office.
Sure.
Well, after you guys.
Way to go, Chico. Let's all go together so we can celebrate this moment for him.
I didn't really think that doing that would get me a reward, but I'll take it. Does being good like that always get you rewards?
No, in fact, it gets you more trouble a lot of times, but it's always the right thing to do the right thing.
Yep. So Zach's going to follow behind last and give Chico a very, firm pat on the back. It's kind of like a good job, but I know what you were thinking.
Chico takes off.
Chico, she hands you 50 gold.
Woo! Nice. Maybe I can start making back all that money I spent on those tickets.
She raises an eyebrow.
I mean, I got cheated and lost a lot of money on tickets, and this will help Bye.
Yeah, you know how them
Zach's going to
scalpers
step
are.
in and tell the dwarf, pardon our friend, he was in the desert for quite a bit. The heat's gotten to him, so he's a little dazy at the moment. Needs some water if you guys have a bottle or something around here.
Sure. She hands you all a bottle of water. It's the least I can do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lothario will take a sip. Of his own water, mind you.
Yes.
And so Pearl I'm switching back to Pearl. She says, so was that the only thing that you needed help with? It seemed rather intense of a reaction for a guitar to go missing. Was something else wrong?
It's kind of a big deal. He normally plays the Spanish guitar.
Who's he?
Who is this he we mention?
Antonio Vespucci. When you don't seem to recognize him, she says in exasperation, the famous Spanish guitar player.
Oh yeah, I heard of him before. He's great. Why are you making him play a different instrument, though?
Special for the concert. Well, thank you so much for returning it. I'll, help you guys find your way back to the main area. Thanks. You've been so helpful.
Oh, no, we're actually musicians here ourselves, and we just happened to walk in at the right time.
You know what they say, right place, right time. By the way, I'm not musically gifted at all. I am just a friend of theirs.
He's here to inspect the equipment as well. Notice that
yes.
little gaff on the stage.
Yeah, I'd like not to endanger any more people with a mishap like that. Is there by any chance a control panel for any of the levitation platforms or anything like that nearby?
What makes you qualified to look at our control panels for our levitation? And unless you're rolling an ability, if you're rolling a d6, you're going to roll with disadvantage because there's safety things that letting a random person inspect the equipment would not work.
So, I have the anticipate ability, which essentially would give me, I want to say it would give me +1 advantage. I could burn that card in this situation if that would apply.
Anticipate is a +1 on your next dice. So if you get a 2, it's a 3, etc. All right, noted. I've put that in your discard pile. Let's roll off.
Yep. On you.
Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, 3.
2.
Oh.
But wait a minute, is that with the +1 already?
That was with a +1. I rolled a nat 1.
I could definitely, you guys have been so helpful, look into you getting trained to help us with our next concert. Certainly we're going to have to make some revisions for next time because a fan jumping onto the platform was not expected. But there's nothing wrong with the equipment itself. It levitated, and it even held
Okay.
2 people. Great job, actually.
Well, look at that, Zach. You got an opportunity for next time. If there's one more thing I might ask, we're actually looking for our fellow musician. We're performing with
Oh, Riley.
yes, for Riley Chafad, I believe. And I was told that she would be here, and so have you seen her around?
Let me check my list of performers. She's flipping through a clipboard. I don't see her here.
Are you sure plays the alto saxophone?
No, I don't see her.
Does anybody backstage or any of your performers, do they like chips? Specifically, Hestia Bestia sour cream and onion chips. Perhaps the greatest flavor ever invented.
She hands you like a free gift basket that she's just got piling up on the table. Here, I can offer you this bag of mixed chips, and there's like barbecue and plain, and barbecue and plain.
Why
Zach's just still over in the corner pouting
Why are there no sour cream and onion chips in this venue?
because they're disgusting. He says, while over, just arms crossed, looking away, just upset.
Is there anything else we need to find? Sorry.
Can we huddle up for a second? Because I
Yeah.
need some direction. We're backstage at a concert, right? But we're supposed to be looking for this koala lady. And I don't know what us being at a concert's gonna help. I know she's a musician. She disappeared a while ago. But honestly, I think it has
Yeah.
everything to do with the Deep Ooze Guild and that tattoo. So, if I were her, I'd be trying to run away. But where? Is she trying to blend in? Is she trying to escape? Should we be looking for the instrument?
We still have the sheet music. We could ask, what was the dwarf's name? I did not catch
Britta.
that. Britta?
Britta with a B.
Britta. Okay. So we could ask Britta if she's familiar with the piece and if she knows if any of the talent was supposed to perform that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great idea.
We did find that. We don't mention where. We just say we found it on the
Yeah.
just somewhere.
No, good call. So Pearl will take that out of their backpack and say, do you know anyone who's performing this song? We found this sheet music just lying around, and that I imagine would be rather important for somebody.
Oh, I love this song. Yeah, that one's up next.
That one's up next.
That's next.
Oh, is that by Antonio Vespucci?
Yeah. Oh, that's like the that one song that everybody does a cover of. Yeah, that cover that's really good is up next. Wow.
Okay. So, party, is there anything else that you guys can think of that we would possibly need to investigate backstage?
Well, I'm with Lothario on this one. It kind of, yeah, we do need some direction. I guess we're not asking enough questions, maybe.
Yeah.
I wish I could be in the audience so I could listen to that song. That's where the best acoustics are.
I was gonna, we could possibly see if anybody in the pit would, or we could go in the seats. Whatever you guys want to
Well,
do.
if that song is up next and it's super popular, and that's the sheet music that Riley had in her tent, I imagine she's going to react whenever that music's played. So if we can scope out a spot where we can see the audience and see if there are any, let's say, koalas reacting more affirmatively than many of the other people around her, maybe we'll find a clue.
Possibly.
Well, I have no better ideas on leads, so I'm happy to go follow you.
Yeah. Well, we'll go take a seat, I guess.
Where in a concert is the best place to be able to see all the audience?
Ooh,
From
if
the
that's a
highest
skybox.
point. Yeah.
Yeah. Either that or on stage.
Yeah, you want to face the
But-
audience, so on stage, and you can see everybody.
Let's do this. I'm ready for this.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the plan, boys. Lothario and I will go on stage. We'll perform this song. Lothario, take a look at this sheet music. Memorize it. You, Zach,
I'm squinting. Okay.
Zach, you're going to be in the wings. Or you can be down at the very base of the stage acting like security. But you're a tall man. You could probably see a lot of people and any suspicious activity.
Or you could dance.
Or you could dance.
If you want to.
Perception. Don't lose sight of the
We'll leave
objective.
our friends behind. We'll act like we come from out of this world. I understand completely, Pearl. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. I'm the one who's not understanding what you're saying. But that's
It's an older reference, but it checks out.
I understand no references. It's a long story.
That in of itself is a reference.
Really? Sorry, we're getting...
You see, we'll talk more about this later, but I like your idea. If you and Lothario get on stage, I can act over towards the corner of the stage there on the floor, keeping an eye on the pit, but also keeping an eye on the actual seating sections as well.
All right.
That would actually be really beneficial. However, I feel like we need a signal in case one of us sees something.
Throw up the potato chips.
There might be a lot of bags of potato chips flying. I need something a little
none
more
are the sour
obvious.
cream and onion potato chips.
Wait,
there
we're
are no
not throwing
sour
up...
cream and onion chips. It's the
That's
perfect signal.
actually not a bad idea.
Open the bag and we'll smell it.
Yes,
Like
exactly.
a stink bomb.
Yeah, because it's too loud to say anything. We won't be able to hear you, so it needs to be visual or otherwise.
Yes. So if I'm the one holding the potato chips, how do you signal me?
We on stage. We control the show.
Okay.
We'll
I was
figure
going to
something
suggest
out.
you guys misplay a note intentionally.
Oh, that is highly unlikely.
Very unlikely.
Very unprofessional.
Very unlikely. You're doing it intentionally.
Well, if I must.
Yeah, just make it one off above or below. Like if it's like a G sharp, make it like an E or something. If it's not accurate, that fits Zach's inexperience with being a non-musician perfectly.
Well, I guess I can stomach playing something not to the best of my abilities.
Only if you notice something. That's all I'm asking. If you don't notice anything, just play it like you're supposed to.
That's fair. Alternatively, if you don't want to be down in the crowd, you could be up amongst the stage or the rafters or something. And then you could drop the potato chips onto the stage. And then we'll know you see something.
We'll figure something out. For the time being, I'll sit on the bottom, stand there by the bottom of the stage, off towards the side. So if you're looking at for the audience listening, you're at a concert, you're looking at the stage head on. I'm going to be down over to the base of the stage, down on the left-hand side, just off in the corner.
Okay.
If that makes, assuming the stage is like an elliptoid where it's like rounded towards the center.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Like a half circle.
And you guys are trying to get on the stage. What are you saying to Britta Talva to convince her that you should be there?
Oh, I have a solution. So I'm going to use my ability, and it is called muddle. And so I'm going to muddle her thinking such that she believes we are supposed to be up there. So I'll say, Britta, and then use my googly foo to muddle her brain. And I'll say, I believe we're supposed to be accompanying this next performer. Don't you agree?
And to describe the mechanics of muddle, it has a +1 and then like a face with swirly eyeballs, which appears to be a -1 to my dice for if you're doing a mental action. So I will roll my dice and I will subtract 1 from it. Let's both roll Lothario's player. I got a 4.
I got a 5.
Hey,
Yes.
that's successful. Oh, of course. Thank you guys for finding the guitar before you performed. Wow. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we're here for you, Britta.
Anything to help somebody out.
And now it is time. You are on the stage. Yeah, Lothario's sight reading, and you guys are performing. I want you guys to tag team or do it at the same time, like duet style, your performance on stage.
Okay, so the instrument I have today is a steel drum. So I will be playing steel drum, and then Pearl, what will you be doing?
I will provide lyrics. Oh, God.
Perfect. I'm sure
Yeah.
what we are doing will be perfectly in sync. I'll lead us off, and you just
Okay.
join
yeah.
in when you feel like.
Get a beat going. Hopefully this lines up well. Is this Mary Had a Little Lamb?
No, man, this is way more advanced. Keep up.
That's elementary when you're
my
watching. This
God.
is junior high.
I can't follow it. That's so sad.
I recommend
Okay.
a repeated 8-note sequence.
Okay, sorry, I was warming up. I don't know if I was clear about that. Let me go ahead and just keep it real simple like.
Real simple's great.
4 notes.
Yeah, he's got
and
to
then
make sure he's
4
got the
notes,
tuning right.
And then repeat those 8. 4 notes, and then 4 notes, and then repeat those 8.
You never tire of getting out here. You'll never tire of being with me in this place. In this space.
Are we done?
Yeah, I
very
don't even know
nice.
if I sang on key or anything, but you know what? We went for it. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
us.
We committed, and I think that's what matters.
Yeah.
Yay!
I would like to use my card inspiration.
You don't need to use a card. You did it
perfect.
real. You passed. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, I want
Perlin-
to high five.
Yeah. High five, everybody. Yeah. Good job. Wow. You can see the whole crowd from here. The mosh pit is a sea of hands and bouncing heads. The seated section is a bit more orderly, and you can pick out individual faces. This is for Lothario and Pearl. You pick out a human, a bird person, a human, an elf, a dwarf, a gnome, a human, a lizard person, a horse folk, a koala folk, a human, an elf, a tree
Koala. Koala folk.
Yes, there appears to be a koala folk about a third of the way back from the front of the leftmost seating section, maybe 10 seats in, with a saxophone hanging from a lanyard on their neck.
So, what specific space is that again?
A third of the way back
Third
from the
back.
front of the leftmost seating section, maybe 10 seats in.
Okay, so as we're singing, I'm going to start on the next verse. I'll say, wouldn't you love to be in the third part of the stage with me? A little bit from the left side of the stage.
Zach's going to be a little taken aback, but he's going to catch the hint.
Oh,
Great.
and while that's happening, I would like to use my power. Hold on, I had it just right here. Paralyze. So I would like to paralyze the koala folk with the saxophone on the lanyard. But, subtle. Like, it's not like, kazam! Or nothing like that. But
Yeah.
subtle, so...
Delayed onset.
Go ahead and roll. This
that's
is
right.
Some could say the song's title is Paralyzer.
Yeah.
+1 for you.
Okay, I rolled a 3, so that's a 4.
I have a 6 on the dice.
Hey, well, man, that happens. That's the way the dice go.
A bird folk
Good paralysis
goes
resist.
between you and the koala, and you paralyze the bird folk, and they plummet out of the sky.
I'm gonna. I was like pointing my steel drumsticks at them, and I'm gonna
Doing
be
some
like,
skeet
"Oh,
shooting, aren't you?"
I'll just start playing again, like I had nothing to do with that."
The song is between you and another bunch of musicians, right? So it ends because of the 6 versus, lower.
I will, catching the hint from Pearl and also seeing our koala friend, I will rush to the front of the stage, drumsticks held high, as if to get accolades and then I will jump off the stage toward the koala person as if I'm just living in the moment.
All right, the first thing closest to the stage is the mosh pit. Lothario is there. Pearl, where are you?
I'll join Lothario in the mosh pit. Can't leave a friend behind.
And Zach.
I would have already started moving when I heard the hint, so I would say I'm already in the mosh pit.
Okay, you're all in the mosh pit together. This region in front of the stage has very physical and rough dancing. Everyone is crowded together. The desert heat is even hotter here with bodies so close together. You're uncomfortably close to multiple people in front of you. An 8-foot-tall, flat-nosed, pointy-eared giant pushes past you. "Hey!" shouts the person in front of you, who also got pushed. The 8-foot-tall, flat-nosed, pointy-eared giant turns back, looks at the person he pushed, cocks his head to the side, considering, and pushes him again. The person in front of you flies into you, bounces off, and lands on the ground. They're not down for long. They jump up, raring to fight. Everyone, please roll a d6 and let's see what order you're able to respond.
1.
I got a 2.
I got a 3.
That sounds like an order. Pearl, what do you do?
Oh, 1's okay, fantastic. I just assumed 1 was low. I am going to oh man, Mind Slip was such a good card. It's too bad I can't use it again. I am going to buff myself up a little bit using the card Regrowth. It is Defensive Accelerate, and in the game mechanics, it's a +2 to health per round, and I'm immune to, it looks like blood or like water drops. So I imagine that means like immune to some kind of damage.
Yeah, I'm interpreting that there's damage that makes you keep bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
So you're immune to that. It's like slashing damage or piercing damage where you'd like the oozing out is its own problem, not just the tissue damage at the site.
Gotcha.
But like you can pass out from blood loss. You're not going to pass out from blood loss.
Yay.
All right. Now, you can only target yourself or Chico with your healing. It's one target, right? So who do you target?
Myself.
All right, noted. Next up, we have Lothario.
Okay, so I have a card called Childlike, and it's an offensive decelerate card, and it says -1 all spiritual attributes, -1 spiritual, and then a not sign. A target cannot be afflicted with both childlike and wizened. So I'm gonna target this giant fella that keeps pushing folks and make him childlike, so you know he's not all angry and adult-like.
All right, I am going to say that so the cancel sign is damage deducted from final damage reduction. So that means that if he had super good armor, his armor doesn't work very good. And
does he have super good armor?
To spiritual damage reduction. So I'm going to say he doesn't have super good spiritual armor, but he definitely has no resistance to spiritual attributes from you. So if you attack him psychically, which as a bard you could, he is less likely to defend from that.
Maybe not.
His mental endurance is low. All right, Zach, what do you do?
Zach is going to turn his attention to the giant, since he is the giant of the party. It's only fair you pick on someone your own size, right? And he's going to turn up and give him a tap on the shoulder and say, "What was that for?"
Okay, drawing the aggro. All right, it is now their turn. They, the 8-foot-tall, flat-nosed, pointy-eared giant, says, "Are you Riley?" He holds up a picture, compares it to your face, Zach, takes kind of a long time to compare the picture with your face, and eventually lets his hand fall. "No, you're not. Well, you're just in my way." And he's going to haul off and hit you. Please roll a d6, Zach.
I rolled a 2.
Please take 1 damage. Chico also takes 1 damage. You're now at 4 HP.
Where is Chico during this fracas?
Although it doesn't matter, really close to you.
Okay. It matters to me. I'm trying to make a friend here. But I know what you're saying.
He's not going to mechanically do much. It's really weird how this con man, not a good fighter.
He has other skills. I get it.
His pretty face. We are back to the top of the round. The person who was thrown flying is going to randomly attack someone. That's how mosh pit fights work.
Oh, no.
Randomly attacks the 8-foot-tall giant. All right. And misses, hitting a person behind them. Wonderful.
Oh, no.
Another person has joined the fray. We are back to the top of the round. Let me just add that person to the fray. They are going to haul out and hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lothario. The person
Hey.
who was hit is going to hit you. All right. Please roll a d6. I'm going to roll for damage against you. Unless you want to use an ability, you are being attacked right now.
I rolled a 6.
Okay. You beat my d6, so you don't take any damage. It is
All
now Pearl in the Sea's turn.
All right. This is getting a little rowdy for my taste. They are going to start making their way out of the mosh pit, but before they do, they'll put a hand on Zach's arm and say, "Here, you distract them while Lothario and I go to get Riley, and I'm going to use the mending card."
Okay, I should tell you something. I should have said this at the start of your turn. You recognize this person who's punching people.
Oh, is this Sheriff Noose?
They used to be a sheriff, and
Oh,
then
boy.
Ava took their job.
Oh, no. Okay. In that case, I'm going to go up to Noose and say, "Oh my goodness, it's been so long. How have you been?" And I'm going to pat their arm. "Don't you remember me? We met in Dangan Town." And I'm going to use the inspiration card. It says, choose one card from your deck and place it in your hand, then shuffle your deck.
Okay, so what I'm going to say is that you can get back one card of your choice. Because it says choose one card.
I am going to choose the card Mind Slip.
Yep. And what former Sheriff Niels Nuth says before you mind slip them is, "Fire-breathing kittens, huh?" He looks disgusted. "I bet you're here for looking for Riley, too. You're taking our jobs. Immigrants from hell. Blasted fire-breathing kittens. See if I let you take this one from me." Immigrants from hell is because Ava's literally from hell.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay, I was personally offended by that.
He's not a nice guy.
No.
I mean, Goddardoo's
Well-
hot and humid, but that's not hell.
I thought for sure he might be a little bit more amenable, but at this point, I am not going to feel bad at all for using Mind Slip. Do I get to do that now or my next turn?
If you activate your mastery, you're the only person who could do that now.
I'm going to activate my mastery then. And so I'm going to say, "There's really no reason to be so cross, Noose. You found a new job and you're here with friends. Why don't you just enjoy the music and join in the mosh pit? Get all that aggression out."
And the way Mind Slip works is they forget.
Exactly. And as I'm saying that, I'm just slipping on by.
I like that Nuth is perpetually, always one-upped by the fire-breathing kittens. This is just nice. I just like
It's-
this. All right.
You know, it's just what happens when you are like upset with everybody around you. You're going to get one-upped by people who have confidence.
Yeah. All right. Well, that resolves that combat. I'd like to say that Chico has taken 1 damage. If Chico takes 5 damage, they will die. So that's been done. You guys you just all walk out of the mosh pit all casual like. Yeah?
Did I get healed?
No, you did not. I'm sorry. I used my
Okay.
inspiration card instead of mending.
Okay, making sure, because I heard we were using mending and then we changed. Nobody clarified, so I can write that down. So
You guys are wading through this mosh pit. It's full of people that are mostly having a good time. They are, sharing substances, jamming out, jumping in time to the music, crowding together, moving when their neighbors move, all flowing together. It's a good time. So, where do you go to?
Third of the way back from the stage, towards the left side, near a downed bird person.
You have made your way to the leftmost seated section you saw from the concert stage, and notice that it's labeled Section W. This chair is currently empty. Underneath the chair is an empty bag of Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips.
No. No.
She already escaped.
I mean, I kind of gave it away, but still.
Wait a minute. Can we smell that bag of open chips?
Yes, although Zach might not want to.
Yes.
I think
Terrible, man.
we do have an extra bag that can attract the kind of attract all the person we're after.
Zach, who is still holding on to the bag for the signal that he never used, just flips it over to you.
I will shout, "Hey, I got a bag of sour cream and onion Hestia Bestia chips right here for whoever wants it."
I'll take it.
Oh, is that a koala lady?
No, it's like a grizzly bear.
I'll say, "You have to be a lady and pass 3 questions of my choice." Sorry, I should have said that up front, and I'm shouting a lot.
Oh
I'm a
my
lady.
gosh.
What are the 3
I
questions?
I never said you weren't, but you gotta pass these 3 questions.
Good save.
Number 1, are you a koala?
No.
You fail. Okay, moving on.
Zach's just gonna look at the bear person and apologize and say, "It's official business. Sorry."
I tell
I'd
you
like
what,
your apology to be a D6.
no, I was okay.
Okay.
Oh, his apology. Okay.
And I got a 5.
I got a 6.
Okay,
I was
it
going to
works.
give him advantage by giving her the regular chips.
Lothario,
those-
you don't get mauled by a bear.
Oh. I'm gonna
Legitimate
wink at
danger
Zach.
there.
Thank you.
No problem.
Did we see?
It-
Are there crumbs, perhaps, that we could follow?
There's crumbs everywhere.
No,
Oh
but
my
specifically
gosh.
sour cream and onion, Hestia
Get down on
Bestia
the
crumbs.
floor and start sniffing
Yeah.
all of the chips.
Yeah, you sniff the floor and then no.
While Lothario's going to do that, he motions his hand out and just points and like, "Be my guest."
You know, maybe we don't need to find Riley. I mean, sure, it's 10,000 gold, but if you say that these deep ooze people are bad news, then why are we helping them in the first place?
No, we're not. I'm
Because
not
Pearl.
after the reward. I'm here to help Riley escape.
So here's what I plan to do. We take her to the guy, and then we jump him afterwards.
I
We
would
choose
say
violence.
we can do that. I don't disagree that would be effective. However,
We can take him.
there will be a Deus ex machina of a perpetrator coming out of some water, and Riley will die. And we just need to make sure we prevent that from happening. I don't even know if it's
We're
possible,
in a
but we'll see.
desert. There's no water anywhere.
Oh, yeah?
Might be some hydrochloric acid somewhere, but I
were you
doubt
handed
that's
some
anywhere.
water backstage, perhaps?
Yeah, I threw the bottle away. I already
Okay.
Oh my
finished.
goodness, I did
There's-
not. Immediately just like takes the water out and throws it at somebody.
I hope it is not toward the mosh pit, because you just started a chain reaction. Well, are there any clues as to where she might be?
Well, she was in the seats. The only logical explanation would be she went up the stairs and maybe left, but
Zach,
or repositioned. Yes.
put me on your shoulders.
Yeah, sure. He gets down on one knee.
Okay,
Oh.
Pearl's gonna climb up and balance, chicken fight style. Mm-hmm. And, Pearl's still like 2 or 3 foot long torso. What does Pearl see? Can they see Riley anywhere? Or a saxophone anywhere?
You see concessions, the stage, the bathrooms, the mosh pit, the main gate.
I can only imagine that she would run to the main gate. I'm not seeing her down or up here.
Yeah, if you're not seeing her, I can get back down on a knee and let you jump off.
No, I'm fine here.
Well, maybe she went to
Okay.
the bathroom and she's gonna come back to this seat.
Well, if she's gone to the bathroom.
Or
She's going to be
concessions.
waiting in line for a little bit.
We could check concessions in the restrooms, I don't know, or the merch table.
I am going to present this idea again. We can split up.
No, not in a crowd like this. We wouldn't be able to find each other again.
Fair enough.
If you weren't
worth
here,
suggesting.
I would have been mauled by a grizzly bear. So, that tells me I would be awful on my own.
Lothario, don't take this the wrong way, but there are times when you give in to your instincts. There are times when you suppress them. Trust me.
I will not take that the wrong way. Thank you for the advance warning.
What is
No
going
problem,
on?
baby.
I am like,
You see, it can be taken the wrong way.
player is just like stumped. Like the only thing I can imagine is that she got spooked when we gave away her location. And in hindsight, I should not have done that. But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. And the only thing I can think is like, she came here knowing that people were looking for her and disappeared into the crowd so that she wouldn't be spotted. So she must be either in a different part of the crowd or really trying to book it now.
Wait a minute. You just brought up something that's very interesting. Why is she here at all? If she's on the run, why would she be in such a public venue? Is there something here
Unless
that
she
she's after?
wants to be found.
I doubt it. Maybe it's that song she likes so much.
I can't help but feel like we might have missed something.
Oh, definitely. That's fire-breathing kitten. That's our style.
We took a right instead of a left, I feel.
Well, if she did come just for this one song, perhaps she was just an avid fan of some sort, then she'd probably want to go back to her tent, get her case and her last bag of chips, and then leave. But I still can't figure out why exactly she would, or maybe she doesn't know.
Here's what we should do. Let's discuss this as we walk. I say we
Yes.
walk past concessions and then towards outside where the bathroom is and where her tent is. We'll at least be looking around for her while we're discussing a plan.
Just to clarify, the bathrooms are built into the walls just like the concession stands are. This is a legitimate building concert venue.
Ooh.
So there's porta potties in the tent areas, of course. You know, like you can't expect a person to go that far if they gotta pee. But just to clarify, so you would have to pass several bathrooms to go to the concession stands to get out, if that makes sense.
Okay, if the lines are as I imagine them to be, we will find her.
I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose we can pass by on our way out.
All right, tell me where
I
you
mean,
guys are
it's-
going. I got locations down here. You got stuffs. Tell me.
I say concessions first.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We can walk towards concessions and just peep and keep an eye out along the way.
That's not how locations work. Just tell me where, tell me where you're going. If you want to go a place, you go to the place. Just let me know where you're going.
I would say sequentially toward the door. So if bathrooms are first,
Yeah.
bathrooms. If concessions is first, concessions. And then subsequently as we're moving toward the gate.
Okay.
So we're going to bathrooms first, and then concessions, and
There
then
we go.
gate.
All right. Are you inside the bathroom? Or are you just walking outside it?
Well, I don't think...
And
I
as
don't feel-
previously stated, the way bathrooms work in this world of grizzly bears, koalas, and humans is that it's a unisex room with very good stalls that nobody can see through, individual bathroom areas, and then a row of sinks. Because gender divisions make less sense when you've got like gnomes and elephant people and giraffes. And so anyway, my perfect world, you got a big row of sinks. No women waiting outside while the men's room is totally empty. What is up with that?
Absolutely. Oh my
Whole bunch of
God.
sinks and a whole bunch of little rooms.
No, but that would have played to our advantage today.
Anyway,
I will say, I'll go ahead and go in the bathroom then, quickly.
you step inside the bathroom. Who else is?
I'm staying outside, keeping an eye on the crowd.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in with Lothario.
Okay. Lothario and Zach step inside the bathroom and find that you're not the only person here. Makes sense. Yeah? A rather tipsy-looking beaver folk was handing something to a bipedal cat. The cat startles upon your entrance, r/startled cats, and nervously whips their hand into their pocket when you open the door, pocketing something rapidly.
I'm going to continue along towards one of the stalls, passing them, just to kind of see if I can't overhear them whispering something, potentially.
Noted. You attempt to walk past. Lothario, how do you respond?
I'm stopping at the door to prevent, as Zach flushes them out, I'm going to go ahead and prevent any escape that might be attempted by our perpetrator or someone that is equally suspicious.
Okay, what are you guys doing?
I'll say, Riley, run for it. They're here.
Yeah, I was just going to walk past and see if I could overhear them say anything on the way to a stall.
You're walking past them.
Mm-hmm.
Noted. Okay, so the bipedal cat looks at you surrounding them suspiciously, because that is an action. That is an interaction with them. They take the baggie out of their pocket, say, I bet you're together and are here to distract from the deal. Open the baggie and take a big sniff. The beaver folk had begun to waddle toward the door and then had stopped because Lothario's in the way. The bipedal cat grabs them by the shoulder because Lothario stopped them and spins the beaver folk around to face them, the cat. This ain't Nip. You sold me oregano. The hair on the cat's neck raises. The bipedal cat kicks with their back feet right into the stomach of the beaver folk, kicking and sending the beaver flying across the room into a soap dispenser. The soap dispenser flies off and crashes into the wall. Everyone, please roll a d6 and let's see what order you get to react. Pearl, roll 1, 2. You're out in the hall, though. You hear a crash.
I got a 3.
I have a 5.
I have a 2.
2, you go first. You hear a crash.
Ugh, of course.
Not a lot of surprise.
Pearl's just gonna... I guess they'll just walk in and say, what's going on?
Just in time to be attacked. Perfect. You've entered the room.
What?
The cat is lurching towards you, and you have to take cat scratches. Please roll a d6. Was aiming for Lothario, I should point out.
Oh, I knew I should have stayed outside. That's a 2.
This was a 3. Without an ability, you lose. So please take 1 damage. Chico's at 2 out of 5.
Oh, man.
How much did you dislike Chico? Enough to kill him? I think this was intentional.
No. Well, so can I heal Chico?
I'm having too much fun. I guess I could say yes. Sure, you can heal Chico. All right. That was the first person. Who is the next closest in the turn order?
I believe that was me.
Okay, Lothario, a bipedal cat, just went flying past your head and shoulder. No, wait. Let's be realistic. Knees. And hit Pearl. Pearl took some damage. What were you wearing, Pearl?
I'm just wearing like trousers and a sleeveless cardigan.
Your trousers have a hole in the knee, and the shin part of your trousers are puddling at your ankle. And Lothario, that makes you sad. You love fashion.
Oh, absolutely. That outfit is totally... that should not have happened. Okay, so I'm upset now, and that doesn't happen very often. So what I'm going to do... I got to think about what to do here. I'm going to... I'm going to use my Quicken card. So it's a defensive accelerate, which gives me a +1 running guy. And
Yes.
so I'm going to move fast.
Yeah. If you're moving, you can add a +1 to your dice.
Okay. I don't know if I would have this. So as part of my ration pack, I need you to know that I enjoy sliced cheese and sliced cucumber. So I'm going to remove a cucumber from my backpack and set it at the feet of this cat, knowing that cats are intimately frightened by cucumbers. Then, while they are reacting to the cucumber with fear, I'm going to tackle them.
Roll. Let's see if this works.
Okay.
I did get a 6. Wow, dice. Wow.
I got a 3.
Of all the combats to not do well in, I can't believe it's the bathroom scuffle.
Now, hold on. Was that for placing the cucumber, or was that for the tackle?
Placement of cucumber, too much, too far. You throw it at a stall and it hits the door.
Oh, not
Yeah.
frightened then.
No.
Okay.
The movement was just not right. Too much movement, I guess.
Oh, do I get a... Well, +1 doesn't matter, so... Thanks for rolling the 6, GM.
You're welcome. I roll honestly.
No, that's cool. Me too. It makes it more fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well then I don't know what to do. I was going to tackle that cat.
That
can
ends
I-
your turn.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm now not tackling the cat. So, there we go.
Brings us to Zach. Zach, you're kind of over towards the stalls, and you hear someone flush.
I'm gonna knock on the one that, just the stall that flushed and ask, hello, is this one being occupied? Just completely oblivious to the scuffle behind me for the time being.
And you get no response. I rolled for it. You get no response.
So he's gonna turn back away from the stall and say, hey, I'd stay in there. Things might get a little hairy here. And he's gonna, out of the cat and the beaver, who is closest to Zach?
The beaver, they got thrown into a soap dispenser.
Okay.
The cat's near the door with Pearl.
Are either one of them looking at me at the moment?
The beaver's not really looking anywhere. The cat's busy
so-
clawing a scratching post.
I am going to attempt to hit a spinning back kick onto the cat from behind.
Wow.
Kicking a cat.
I could
I was
draw
gonna
my
do
sword, but I want to do a non-lethal takedown.
Yeah.
So I will roll for the attempt.
Are you doing any of your abilities? I noticed that you have 7 left.
I can... I've actually got a few left. I'm going to utilize my Strengthen, which will grant me 1 to my physical attack, and then will also grant me 1 to physical damage.
Yep. Let's both roll.
Yep.
I got a 4.
I have a 6 on that.
Great. You do kick the cat, and you cause 2 damage instead of 1, which means unless you guys do something about it, the cat's in very bad shape. Don't kick cats. It's really not. It's not looking good. It's alive at this moment.
I'm just going to stand there, like, looking at him like, oh, no.
It's the enemy's turn, but there aren't any enemies. So we're back to Pearl.
Pearl is just going to put a hand on the cat and use their mending ability, which is +1 heart per round, immune to bloodletting. Hopefully that counts for internal bleeding.
You saved the cat.
Oh, joy. I am so happy about it. And Pearl is just going to say to the cat, don't ever say I didn't do anything kind for you, and walk out the bathroom.
Well, they save. They may not be conscious, though.
Yeah. Zach's just going to stand there like, oh, well, yeah, I'm not used to having to hold back.
No, you never go half speed. You just hurt yourself that way.
Oh, yeah, 100% Lothario. You know, that was payback for damaging Pearl's immaculate garb. Highest fashion.
Is it, still Pearl's turn, or is it my turn?
I think Pearl
we're
left.
done. Yeah, no, Pearl is out of the bathroom. They are having none of this.
We should call out to the person in the stall and say it's clear.
Oh, that's the plan. So, I will go ahead and pick up my cucumber. It's got a waxy exterior. Usually I don't retrieve things falling on the bathroom floor. That's not a good policy.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, these are exceptionally clean bathrooms,
well,
though, I
there's
will
a sink,
say.
so I'm going to go ahead and wash my cucumber. While I'm washing my cucumber, though,
There's no soap. Because
do it.
the
Why
Why would you
beaver
put soap on food, though?
hit the soap
man.
dispenser.
Well, I'll just have to put it in a separate pocket in my pack so I don't contaminate anything. You see what I'm saying? So, while I am replacing my cucumber, I'm going to go ahead and walk up to the door of the stall, and I will say, "Excuse me, Riley, if that's you, I have a warning for you. You are in grave danger." And then I'll leave it at that.
Meanwhile, Zach is just looking at the cat like, oh, that almost happened. While saying, yelling out, Hey, I know I told you it got hairy, but coast is clear now if you want to come out now. Yelling out to the person in the stall.
But am I in grave danger?
Ooh, that sounds like a koala. Yes.
I'm not familiar enough with koalas, so I can't tell you or not.
I mean, I've only had dreams where koalas exist, and that is exactly what they sound like. So I'll say, Riley, I know you were a member of the Deep Ooze.
I'm not. What? No. And the door opens. Stepping out, a foot is wrinkled, thick, wide, and brown, and has 4 large gray toenails. A hippo folk emerges from a stall.
Is your name Riley?
No.
Then I was not talking to you.
Oh, they go back in and they close the door.
Yo, we need to find Riley.
Yeah. Hey, Lothario, while you're busy cleaning up your cucumber, I'm going to go see if we can catch back up with Pearl.
Okay, yeah, I'll just kind of rinse it a little bit and rub it kind of on the inside of my jacket. I don't want to mess up my pants. Usually I'd rub it on my pants, but these are nice. These are canary.
Yeah.
All right,
Just wrap it up in some paper towels,
following you,
man.
Zach.
Yeah. So we walk out of the bathroom, meet up with Pearl.
Sorry, I'm a child.
Pearl's having a breakdown in the hallway.
Sorry, player is immature. Sorry.
We just walk out and see Pearl just sitting down on the ground, hands on her face, elbows on her knees, just distraught over the fact her pants got all ripped up by the cat person.
So upset. Oh, I'm gonna have to find new pants. I've had these pants for 80 years.
Oh, man. I'm sure
don't worry. I know a person that can take care of those for you. I'll introduce you to him later.
So I'm guessing the person in the bathroom was not Riley.
Unless Riley is a 6.5 foot tall hippo person, then no.
But sounded exactly like a koala. I just want to, for the record.
Lothario, I'm starting to think you actually don't know what a koala person sounds like.
Maybe I don't. Dreams are not reliable.
No.
All right, well, I suppose we should just make our way back to the concession stand and then over to Riley's tent.
Yeah.
You're walking through the hallways, making your way to the concession stands. You're walking, and whew, boy, that was quite the mosh pit you were in earlier. There were so many people all around you, a lot of them taking and sharing substances, jamming out, jumping in time to the music, crowding, moving when your neighbor moved, all flowing together. It felt like you were part of something bigger. Was that your first time, or have each of you been in a mosh pit or a collective movement space like that before?
I want to say Zach's been in that kind of situation before. Maybe not under the same circumstances, but he's been in something very similar to that.
Lothario has never been in a formal mosh pit. Now, informally, at a formal place of employment, there has been a fracas that has erupted that has had the appearance of a mosh pit, but that was just more, workers that were disenchanted with what management had prescribed for them to do, and so, not really mosh pit. I've never really been involved formally.
Given Pearl's history, I would say that they don't remember anything, but because it felt familiar, they wonder if that was something that they had felt before they were tossed into the astral sea, because they don't remember anything before that because they were so young when it happened. So Pearl is holding on to that feeling and is processing, and it's just kind of like, well, I mean, it was a little violent at first, but I can kind of see why people come to these things now. This feeling of togetherness is really, really nice, and I want that.
Recalling back through your memories, feeling that feeling of the mosh pit, you reflect upon the day, the dry desert air and the heat and your surroundings of the concert venue fade away from each of you. You reflect, you think on your memories, and the memories get stronger. Everyone, you're deep in your memories. Please describe what your mind wanders to. And for Pearl, I want you to remember anything, something from before your time in the astral sea. And everyone else, tell me something. It's like your mind's been unlocked and you remember something.
So Zach stands there and he remembers a elegant ballroom with a very classy sense of music playing in the background, and he remembers hearing some shouting from across the hall, and that shouting quickly turning into yelling and just being surrounded and being pushed back and forth like you would on a ship with experiencing some very turbulent waves, and reminds himself as to why he is there and pushes those thoughts back behind him and says, no, why am I thinking about that?
I was thinking about my junior prom, and so I went out with a girl named Annabelle Beauregard, and we were a thing for a while, and I remember when we got out on the dance floor, it was the first time I felt harmony between me, someone else, in the universe. And as we flowed across the stage, it was as if I was controlling my movements and not controlling my movements all at once. Yet I was moving in the direction I knew I should go, as if the universe was prescribing which way I should flow, so I would discover more about myself. And after the song ended, it always stuck with me. It was very magical. And I think back to where Annabelle is now. There was a bit of a falling out because of some accusations from her mother, Madame Chastain Beauregard. And I just wonder where she is.
There is a sudden image in Pearl's mind and a lullaby that appears. And for a moment, they see other dragonborn of all different colors around her. And there is this large dragon, an adult dragon of almost diamond-like color with the light going through it and glittering. And they're singing this lullaby. And Pearl just starts to hum it out loud. But it's kind of like absent-minded and you can't actually like... It's just like there and then gone, and they snap out of it and they're just like, what?
Whoa. Yeah. The memories get even stronger. Can each of you please describe your strange, surreal hallucination you're experiencing? Uh-oh, you might have been given a gift in the mosh pit.
Is this even real?
Y'all tripping. Tell me what you're tripping.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Zach comes to his senses and realizes...
you wish you could.
Oh.
That's the point of this.
Wishes he could. Okay. Allow me to rephrase. Zachary realizes that these are repressed memories, but he doesn't know why he's necessarily remembering them, because it's a rather negative memory, but he's experiencing it over again from his perspective. And he's asking himself, wait, why am I here again?
I guess the last prompt was memories. This one is trips. So if you want to just describe your hallucination, that's where we are now. We've gone too far.
Okay, my bad. I misinterpreted. It's a trip. I don't know how I would describe it. It's just like really jarring almost, I would say. He, not fully like cognizant of where he is or what he's, where he's going. Last thing he remembers, he was in the bathroom. He spun kick a cat to near death.
I would say Pearl's trip is definitely like full of color. It is all spiraling and blending together, kind of like, it's basically like a rainbow. And they're trying to find the source of this rainbow. So they just keep looking around and are just entranced by all of these colors. And she just keeps singing that lullaby. But now it's starting to get out of tune and kind of slurred and whatnot. So she's having a great time.
So, because my memory was triggered, it is fueling my current trip. And what is happening is there's still music playing, but it is not nearly as loud. It is muted and slightly out of tune, like a little bit discordant. And as I look around at all the people navigating through the entire festival, they're no longer the shape they once were. They're kind of morphed into these weird puzzle-looking shapes, like they're trying to find a piece to fit with them, but they don't quite fit with anybody. And I'm looking for the puzzle piece that fits with me, and I can't find the puzzle that I belong to. And I'm getting nervous, and I'm tearing up a little bit, but it's not full crying just yet. But I'm just kind of freaking out because I felt like I fit before, but now I'm unsure.
Wow.
That's
Well, that was some serious stuff in that mosh pit. I'm just saying.
That's some deep stuff.
A 50-year-old humanoid, bald, with pale skin and gray eyes, taps you on the shoulder and hands you a cup of water. What do you do?
All three of us?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll drink it.
I take it, but I don't immediately go to drink it yet.
I splash it on my face.
Both Lothario and Pearl feel better. Your head clears. The room stops swimming. Lothario, you recognize Alana Divigno from her pyramid-shaped hut with a basement door in the Atchawalla swamp. She puts the water cup back in a vertical locker of sorts traveling with her.
Oh, Alana, so good to see you. Thank you so much. I was freaking out.
What? What?
I said...
It's hard to hear with the concert going on, and you know she's hard of hearing anyway.
I'll just do the bow where I put my hand over my fist and kind of like, thank you. International sign for thank you.
Zach is going to find somewhere to sit and then splash the water over his face really fast. And just, he's gonna say, give me just a second. Sits down with his feet up, his knees up, and he's got his right hand over his eye, just thinking about what he was remembering there during all that.
Pearl is actually kind of sad that the trip is over because they were having such a great time, but they can kind of see that both Lothario and Zach are kind of down and a little upset by it. So she just says, well, I suppose we should avoid the mosh pit in the future. Although, if I could find out what exactly we got slipped, I would be very curious.
What? What?
Do you know what we took?
She writes down a chemical structure and hands it to you.
Thank you.
What?
Just do this. Do like you bow with the hands together.
Pearl will bow with the hands, but definitely puts that paper in their backpack.
Zach is gonna turn his head over to Lothario and ask, who is this?
Oh, so she lives in my hometown of Gardilu. I don't know what she's doing here in the desert, but she is an alchemical engineer, as it were. She makes potions for a living, and she is excellent at it, as you may or may not have discovered yourself firsthand.
Well, I'm happy that you came to our aid, and he does the bow that he noticed that Pearl and Lothario both did while still sitting down.
Alana nods. She looks pretty chill. She's leading around a vertical locker of sorts that she reaches inside to retrieve more water for each of you. She also hands each of you a bag of Hestia's Bestia's sour cream and onion chips.
This is the source.
This is it.
I'm going to shout at her because she is hard of hearing. Hey, have you seen a koala? And then I make a shape like ears and the little nose like, and then eating eucalyptus. Koala?
Many! Yeah.
Oh.
Where? And then
a
I'll make a
particular
saxophone.
one?
Her name is Riley. She has a saxophone.
Oh.
And I don't know how to gesture a saxophone. So I measure it out with my hands and go doo 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 like that, like a saxophone would do?
Yeah. Yes, I did. She gets out the piece of paper and she writes down for you because you seem to need help. She was in section F and she hands you a piece of paper with F on it. And she speaks slowly, methodically. So she was in section F.
Okay, didn't we come from section W?
Yes.
That was the wrong section. Or maybe, I don't know.
She's been moving. Quick, let's go to section F.
What do you say, Zach?
Zach agrees. Yeah, we should probably take care of that. Sorry.
You're too slow. Let's go.
That's okay.
That
Yeah.
was rough for me. He slowly gets up and starts following them.
You make
Look
your way
for-
to section F. It's a lot closer to the stage than section W was. And that's true things in concerts, you guys. People just kind of slowly push towards the stage. On your way out of section F, a gust of dry desert air from the door that leads out of the concert venue catches your attention. You look quickly enough to see a 400-pound, 8-foot-tall, flat-nosed, pointy-eared giant push a gray-furred someone wearing a saxophone through the door out of the concert venue and then go through himself. The slam of the door behind them is overwhelmed by the loud noise of the concert.
After them!
After them.
Yep.
Oh my god, we have to get her.
Yeah.
I gotta check my cards to see what I'm about to throw down.
I have so few left.
I've still got some really potent ones at the moment.
I think
so
I think that's
we're
going to be
good.
big because I have
I still have my mastery as well.
okay because I only have Claws, Magi Cloak, and Arcanum Blast. So
I've yet to find a place to use the flashback, but I'm sure we will. Wait a second. So, GM, this is going to be a question for you. If we were to use flashback, would it turn back our positioning or just anyone else or anyone else's? Or is it going to affect everyone or just
I think
Like
it's
kind of articulate
one
this
target.
correctly? Okay. By one target, would that by any chance, so I want to see if I use flashback, could I potentially have Riley return back to their seat or where they were before Sheriff Noose left with them?
Yes.
yes,
So I'm going to use that.
yes.
You're do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The koala is sitting in the seat in section F with the saxophone around their neck. Former Sheriff Niels Knuth is walking down the hallway, about to enter section F. What do you do?
I'm going to turn around and face the former Sheriff Knuth and be like, well, nice to finally put a face to the name.
While hopefully Sheriff Knuth, or former Sheriff Knuth, is distracted, I'm gonna whisper to Riley, it's like, hey, you're in big trouble. Deep Ooze wants you dead. Let's get out of here, and if we can avoid any water, that would be great.
I'm going to sidle up next to Zach and also just be there as kind of like a person shield between Knuth and Riley and Lothario.
I want both of you to roll a d6, and then I want Pearl to roll a d6 and help the person of your choosing. You must decide now, not later. Your d6 is going to be a second d6, so you can add it to you just have to beat me, So,
Gotcha.
who are
Okay,
you
so
helping?
if that succeeds, I would like to help Lothario.
Noted. All right, Zach, roll. Are you using any of your abilities?
I was going to ask, can I utilize Mentalist before I roll? Which would give me +2 to all actions against a specific target.
Yes.
So I'm going to use that and then I will roll.
I got a 3.
I have a 5 + 2 would give me 7.
That's even higher than I could possibly roll. So what specifically do you say to former Sheriff Niels Knuth? It's nice to put a name to the face and then, or face to the name.
I mentioned, so, I've heard a lot of things about you. It's a dang shame that Demonkin decided to up and take your position. Well, seeing as you never did your job, according to what I heard, couldn't be too bad for you.
And what's your goal here?
My goal is to antagonize him to see if I can't focus aggro off of myself so that potentially Lothario and Pearl can't secrete Riley out of there so that I can potentially escape myself.
Noted. Your plan may result in Sheriff Newth fighting you. You are very successful. Lothario and Pearl, let's see you roll. And what's your goal here, Lothario?
I'm trying to get her out, I guess through the same way that I saw them leave previous, but like avoid the concession stand and the bathroom, because I know those are sources of water.
Yeah.
And hopefully toward maybe where her tent was, and then whatever train or transportation we can do.
We're going out to the tent.
Yeah. Outside.
One step at a time. All right.
Okay.
Lothario and Pearl, what are your dice?
4.
I got a 1.
And I got a 5. You have any abilities you can use to boost yours?
The only abilities I have left are like the Arcanum Field and Arcanum Shield. So it basically lets me just absorb hits at this point.
Okay.
And then
All right.
regenerate.
Do I know you?
I'm the person that's trying to save former members of Deep Ooze. Do you know a Charlotte White or Bruna de Santos Acevedo?
At the mention of Charlotte White, who shared the same accent as her, she looks at you incredibly suspiciously.
Well, there is something, I wouldn't even say someone, but something after all of y'all. So, number 1, avoid water at all costs. You're in the right place in the desert, but still, something is after you, so please be careful. If I can help you, please let me know how.
And at this, I will actually take my Magi cloak out of my bag. It is +1 spiritual cancellation and +1 die to spiritual defense. I'm kind of equating that as like a magic thing. So if magic things try to happen to her, she's protected. And Pearl will just say, even if you don't believe us, just take this. It will protect you.
Actually, the fact that you're giving her a magic item means that I'm going to give you a reroll on the dice. You've gone through a lot of clothes today, Pearl. Like, you're going to need new pants. You're going to need a new cloak. Maybe you can get some yellow items from Lothario.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm a gentleman. Here's my coat.
So go ahead and roll, Pearl, and we'll see if
Okay.
she accepts the magic cloak.
I rolled a 4.
So did I. You win all ties.
Yes.
So she looks closely at this cloak. This is a very powerful magical object. You are giving this to me?
Yes, I am.
Why are you protecting me?
Lothario thinks it's important to protect you, and I trust my friends. He's had much more experience with all of this deep ooze stuff. So if he says you're in danger, I believe him, and you should too.
How do you know? How do you know about... I figured... I'm sorry, I kind of assumed that when I left the world, it had a limited amount of time and I should simply enjoy my days before they destroyed the world and I, too, would go like everyone else. Are you saying that you know about their plan?
Not really. Something always happens whenever you reveal too much about the plan, so I don't want to ask you too much. All I know is there is a teapot, and it is dangerous, and that's about it.
Wait, do not say more. It is dangerous. I know. And she is going to try to leave. You guys are in the middle of a crowded concert hall. We should speak somewhere else. Quickly.
Okay.
Lead the way. We'll follow you.
Okay, now, Zach, you and Sheriff Niels Newth are... You mentioned you're distracting him by aggression.
I am trying to draw aggro.
Yeah, all right, so let's roll a d6 for him punching you. And a d6 for you... I noticed you got a lot of combat cards left.
I do.
Let's see what
That's
happens
why
here.
I'm in an itching to use them.
All right.
So, in the event that I failed this, I want to go ahead and activate the Arcanium Armor preemptively.
Yeah.
Is that something I can do?
Yep, go ahead. I rolled a
Okay.
2. What did you roll?
All right, let me go ahead and roll that for you. I rolled a 4.
Yeah, you succeed, so you do not take any damage as they punch you. Mm-hmm. This is former Sheriff Niels Newth. And you guys are in a fist fight. Are you going to punch them back?
So what I'm going to do, if I can, so if he tried to punch me, I'm going to say he tried to punch me with his right hand, so I'm going to move to my left, catch his arm, and try to arm flip him back down the stairs so that my back is facing the doorway that the three of them are leaving, so that I'm between him and the doorway.
Roll. Are you using any of your abilities?
Not at the moment.
Okay, that's a 4.
I had a 6.
Okay. You have successfully pinned and flipped Niels Knuth, the 8-foot-tall, 400-pound. I just want to say how impressive this is. Man. And with a massive thud that shakes the seats, he hits the ground. Now, Lothario and Pearl, the 2 members of the fire-breathing kittens, that was... Have you ever been in a seating area that has a left and a right, like, hallway to the chairs? Mm-hmm. You guys are exiting in the other side that Knuth is not in. And she is leading you outside the concert venue to talk, like through the hallway outside. It's the same door that in a different timeline, Zach knows to go through if you want to meet back up. Mm-hmm. Lothario and Pearl, you're outside the concert venue. The desert wind is whipping past you. The sound of the concert in the distance, muffled by the door.
So wait a minute. Lothario, you said something about a teapot?
Do not say the word.
We'll use code, sorry. The hot liquid delivery system seems very dangerous and was mentioned by Charlotte. And then Bruno de Santos Acevedo kind of let us in a little bit more, named the Deep Ooze organization based on that tattoo you got there. And I don't know what we need to do to get you free, or if you can tell us something without endangering yourself on how to stop these folks.
This is a very safe place, so I can tell you this. It all started years ago. I liked being part of a guild. I noticed that you guys are fire-blazing kittens. I can see your tattoos and all that, you know. And it's fun being part of a group, you know? Feeling the movement around you, feeling part of something. Your friends have your back. They know how to support you, how to make you feel one of the group. I was on board. But I was not on board with ending the world. It started fun to go on adventures with the Deep Ooze at first, fun to be part of a group of friends, but they were so quick to kill, to accomplish their goals. It was like they would kick a cat or something, and the goal that they had was to acquire the legendary charming Jabin and end the world.
Charming
As she
Jabin?
says the word. Yeah, go ahead and ask.
Can you repeat that for our edification, GM, as if we heard it correctly the first time?
Yeah. A pulse of energy escapes from her mouth as she says the words charming Jabin. Go ahead, Pearl. Ask your question.
What is the charming Jabin?
It's a teapot. As she says teapot, again, a pulse of energy escapes from her mouth as she says the words, dissipating to the horizon of this dry, dry desert. The legendary charming Jabin. Another pulse. Nothing happens. She takes a deep breath as if relieved and continues talking. A one-of-a-kind legendary relic. The legend says that long ago, an ancient wizard reached too far. The ancient wizard knew it would have specific dangerous properties before they made it, but they made it anyway, out of hubris, pride. They wanted to see if they could make it. Well, they succeeded. The charming Jabin, again the pulse, changes the water inside it. Any water that flows through the teapot spout, any water poured from it, causes fear and panic in a drinker. You have to run away from that water like the hydrophobia of rabies. You can't drink that water no matter how thirsty you are. That teapot, and the pulse happens again, is what the Deep Ooze we're after. If they throw that in the ocean, it would be the end of the world. I couldn't participate in that, so I left. But we all had been magically sped to keep the secret. If we talk about the teapot, and here the pulse happens again, pulsing from her mouth to the horizon like a homing beacon, we reveal our betrayal and our location to the Deep Ooze.
Okay, I can't help but notice a flurry of activity coming from your face whenever you say either Jabin or teapot. So please don't say those words again. We will use pseudonyms so we're on the same page, but you're not in danger. Does that make sense? For teapot, say hot beverage delivery system. And for Jabin, you may also say hot beverage delivery system because we're on the same page.
While Riley is saying all of this, does Pearl feel anything in her backpack as she has a teapot in there?
You have a teapot, and that was foreshadowing, but that's not the teapot.
Okay, good. I was a little worried,
That's right. I planned it from episode 1 of this season. Back when this was a D&D podcast.
So Pearl asks, what does the charming Chabin look like? Where is it? The hot liquid delivery thing.
It's okay.
Where is it located?
I do not know. I left when they decided that this was a plan. A lot of us did, you know, and I was kind of hoping that they were okay, but I do not think they are. Well, anyway, how much are they paying you for my life?
10,000 gold. Noah says that he'll give it to us when they find you. I assume he is still in the group.
Noah.
I can tell by your disgust that he is.
That one, he has anime protagonist hair. He thinks he can do anything.
Well, at the very least, now that you know that they are after you, perhaps if you know where other people are, you can warn them. But at the very least, you do need to run.
She looks at you, Pearl. She accepts the cloak of the Magi from you, and she does a bow, and she says, "Thank you for your blazing kittens. I owe you my life." I have an ending for you guys. Woo!
Yay!
Possible ending. They free Riley. And she runs away from Noah. She's safe. If you had given her to Noah, then he would have given her to his boss, the leader of the Deep Ooze, who would have killed her. You've saved her life. And the world, for now. The end.
One step at a time.
Yay!
Joining us for this adventure were Pearl.
And to think that I almost gave up there. Nothing like a little bit of kitten's ingenuity.
Zach.
He really should have seen that judo throw coming.
And Lothario.
Man, third time's the charm for sure. I'm so glad we got an NPC that lived. Spoiler alert for those who haven't listened to other episodes. But this is a good one.
Hey, speaking of NPCs that survived, Chico survived.
Yeah.
Hey, Chico
Oh, yeah.
survived!
All right.
Yeah.
Man, we on a roll.
I have a question for Lothario. What is happening to Chico now? You say the thing and he'll do it. He saw how you guys were really good detectives in this adventure. So the question is, how are you directing him? What is his life path now?
Well, I would say, so my path has been just try a bunch of stuff, see what sticks. But he already seems to have a skill that's very good. So I would probably try to direct him toward the Fire-Breathing Kitten Academy, or maybe even be an intern at the guild hall. So he's around and he's seeing stuff, but he's kind of on a tight leash because we don't quite have that trust just yet. But I want him to be exposed to what's good and what's beautiful so he can go out in the world and make it a better place.
Maybe Cal, the HR manager, can go on some adventures with him.
Yes, perfect.
Oh, Lord.
Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for a wonderful adventure. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hello, it's the part of the show where we recommend a podcast to you, dear podcast listeners. Have you heard of Echo Box? Gossip Girl meets Greek myths in this audio drama retelling of the gods and goddesses as celebrities in Los Angeles. Echo is just a voice, but she knows all of their dirty little secrets, and she lets them out weekly. Check out Echo Box, a podcast.